Good morning, everyone. This is Jake from Switchaboo.com. Welcome to Switchaboo Live. So, yeah, today we are going to be finishing off our playthrough of Henchman Story. It has been one hell of a ride. It is. God, this game is so good. Anyway, so for those of you who missed last week's stream, spoilers, but here's what happened. So, uh, in between streams 1 and 2, I let the audience actually decide which way we go. Do we go and do the night job, or do we do game night? The night job won. Much to my dismay, as much like I love the game night scene. Anyway, so yeah, we did the night job. Found out what Madam Scorpion is up to. She's stealing data for her little Uber bloody henchman app thing. A whole bunch of revelations happen. Turns out Kate isn't actually Kate. She's Shining Nova in disguise, aka Paladin Iron Man, as I like to call it. And as that happens, the main character, Stan, decided to join her and actually become a good guy. So that's where we're at right now. We're currently in Shining Nova's home base. So yeah, now that you're caught up, let's get into the story, shall we? Hey, Damo, how you doing this morning? Alright, let's start this off. So my eyes opened to the sight of stars peering down through the apartment's skylight. At first, I rubbed my eyes, wondering if my vision is just spotty. But even after that, they remained. Damn, I really was wiped. How long was I out? With a groan, I eased myself upright and glanced around. Though rationally I remember where I am, I still feel out of place waking up here. It's like part of a dream.
There he is. Now, are you waking up, or is this
Kate's real name is Victoria, by the way.
Rising from the grave?
Kate is the Spanish
Sleep
Inquisition.
Like a corpse, dude, not a twitch.
Ugh, just been a long 24 hours. You know that.
Oh, yeah, I really hear that. Okay, so separating this a little bit, I did a bit of research in between streams. Not only that, but I binge watched the entirety of Dragon Ball Z Abridged for the first time. Yes, I'm 15 years too late. How are these connected? Well, believe it or not, the writer slash producer of this game, who also voices Stan and Lord Bedlam, is I can never remember his goddamn username because it's like some Chinese sounding thing. He is the voice of Tien, Raccoon, Jace, and Android 17 in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. That is why this game's writing is so good. It's straight up written by members of the Dragon Ball Z Abridged team, of Team 4-Star. That is amazing. Like, he's not the only one in this. Like, Antfish is in this as well. Like, who voices Dodoria and also does JoJo Abridged. He's both Dave, our supervisor, and Antonio, the cafeteria chef. That's amazing. So yeah, that's why this game is so good.
I didn't mean to stay up that late and wake up that early, but duty called, literally.
But yeah, if you've seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you can probably pick that up. Stan sounds a lot like Android 17.
And if it hadn't, you might not have gotten a nice couch to nap on. So it all evens out, right?
Doing good, waiting until night 2 of WrestleMania starts. Oh, right, WrestleMania is on now. Right.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I shift into a sitting position and glance over at Victoria. She's sitting cross-legged on the floor nearby, an array of parts and tools scattered around her. She seems to be building or repairing something. Before I can see what it is, she casually moves it behind her back. I think about asking, but find myself more following a different train of thought.
I think you're the weird one with all this energy after the day we've had. Where's it coming from? Don't tell me you gave yourself an atomic heart or something.
Nah, wrong franchise.
No way. Miss me with that cyborg stuff. That'd be hard enough even with a well-funded team, much less operating on myself like some kind of back alley cyberpunk surgeon. Also, technically, a cybernetic heart wouldn't have anything to do with sleep, so...
Yes, well, technically, actually, indubitably,
Yes,
you're
yes,
too
yes.
intellectually superior for sleep.
Oh, shut up. I'm just used to it. A good 4-ish hours of rest and a jug of caffeine is all I need to keep my engines purring.
God, I wish I was like that.
That's gotta catch up to you sooner or later, though, right?
Maybe, but I've got all my chips on later. As for now...
Victoria pops up from the floor, still concealing the item she was working on. Briefly, she tries to sweep the remaining tools and parts under the coffee table with her feet. Doesn't really work, but I pretend not to notice.
I hope you're feeling rested. Because I've got something cool to show you. Come on.
Victoria starts walking backwards, a spring in her step, and her hands hidden behind her back. She looks like she's fighting the urge to skip.
You're making me nervous with all this enthusiasm. Is this some kind of prank?
Oh, come on! Would I ever
Hello,
deceive you?
nurse.
Actually, don't answer that. Just get your butt over here. You'll like it. I promise.
She beckons me over with one hand while the other continues to keep her surprise out of sight. With a sigh of resignation, I start to follow her across the room.
When we take down Madam Scorpion, Dynamo and I will do most of the heavy lifting. But there's still a good chance that you'll have to enter a combat situation. Or, at the very least, need to defend yourself. Honestly, after seeing you in action, I can say you're a cut above your average mook. But this is going to be a lot tougher than you're used to. They'll have the numbers, and then there's Scorpion.
Yeah, have We Speak No Americano stuck in my head. Doesn't help I watch Madagascar 3 again. Dude, that song is so good. See, we come to a stop in the apartment's home gym. It's padded floor beneath our feet.
Is this leading to a sweet martial arts training montage? Because if so, I have a few suggestions for the soundtrack. What are your thoughts on synthwave post-punk?
What, in a day? Oh, hell no. Your footwork alone would take months to correct. You do this weird tippy-tap thing like an excited dog, and, well, it's a mess down there.
Oof.
Sorry, that sounded too harsh. What I mean is that we don't have the time to upgrade your software. So instead, we're going to upgrade your hardware. Close your eyes.
Another butt-grabbing excuse?
Yet another excuse to grab my butt. These are getting paper thin now, I've gotta tell ya. Paper thin.
Yeah, well, the excuses might be thin, but that ass sure isn't.
Damn!
Ha! I knew it! I knew you were tempted. Can't blame you, I put a lot of work into it. By work, I mostly mean sitting on it, but sometimes I do a squat or two.
She likes our butt.
Just shut up and close your eyes, doofus.
Fine, fine.
I close my eyes and let out a deep breath. I hear Victoria slowly step forward. She's close, maybe a step away when she finally stops. For a second, I hear and feel nothing but my own heartbeat, and I feel her fingers graze the back of my left hand, hesitating for just a moment before gently grabbing it and guiding it upward.
Hold your hand out, just like this, alright?
Alright.
Her hand moves to my wrist, and I hear the whir of machinery as something cold and heavy slips over my hand. Even through my glove, I can tell it's metallic. Victoria guides my arm through the mysterious object. By the time it stops, Victoria's hand is on my elbow, and the metal object is enclosed in my forearm.
You might feel a pinch.
Give me a S, give me a I, give me a M, give me a P, shut up. Suddenly, the metal object clamps down tighter, but thanks to Victoria's assurance, I resist the urge to flinch. Much.
There. Okay, you can open your eyes.
The aliens got Stan, oh no. Yo, arm cannon, sick. Also, we got her in a nice fucking arm lock. We got her in her arms. This is exactly where we want her. I opened my eyes to find Victoria smiling up at me, with one hand still steadying my left arm. It's now adorned in the futuristic half-gauntlet painted white, blue, and gold, shining Nova's colors. Her colors.
Well, how does it feel?
Snug, but not too tight. Honestly, it's, well,
Perfect, right?
I rotate my arm to inspect the other side, but the gauntlet doesn't shift or rattle. It's like a tailored suit.
Yeah, perfect. How'd you do it?
When's the wedding?
I got your measurements while you were asleep, obviously.
Okay, little weird.
Right, obviously.
See, I turn my attention away from the gauntlet and look her in the eye.
Thank you, Victoria. I mean it.
You're welcome, Stan.
Silence hangs. Victoria opens her mouth to speak, but only a sharp breath comes out. 3 heartbeats pass before she finally tears her gaze away from mine, abruptly fussing over the gauntlet.
Anyway, this isn't just a piece of jewelry. Not only does it bring out your eyes, but it's got a lot of practical functionality. Here, let me show you.
Lesnar versus Omos opening night too. Hey, cool. I at least know Brock Lesnar. I don't know much about wrestling. I do recognize the name of Brock Lesnar. See, she grasps the gauntlet in one hand and my bicep in the other, raising my arm so that it's aimed outward. The adjustment brings us closer, like we're practicing a dance instead.
First, always aim with your entire arm, not just your wrist or forearm, and try to bring it to eye level when you can. Like this. Now, when you're ready, quickly touch your thumb to your middle finger, then your ring finger.
Got it. Middle, ring.
As soon as I complete the motion, a small cannon emerges from the gauntlet. I feel a device slide into my palm. I twitch a little in surprise, but Victoria steadies my hand.
Holy shit. Is this like one of yours?
It's closer to the one I had this morning than one on my suit, but it still packs a punch, so be careful. That mechanism in your palm is the trigger. When you don't need it, you can retract it with the same finger pattern.
Same pattern. That's middle finger, then ring finger, right?
I repeat the motion, and the cannon retracts.
There you go, just like that. You're a natural.
She looks back at me. Our eyes meet, and the silence hangs once more. This time I lose count of the heartbeats that pass before either of us can break it.
There's more to show you.
Right, yeah, of course.
We break eye contact and each take a step back.
So,
That was weirdly intimate.
This might be a weird thing to ask, but do you remember what we talked about during that tour of Lord Bedlam's lair?
That was 2 weeks ago, Victoria.
We talked about a lot of stuff, didn't we? Did you mean something specific?
The fanfiction? As we talk, I notice that Victoria has deliberately backed up several steps. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, actually, it was near the start of the tour. You told me where you went to college, and then...
Yeah, we talked about how you got into engineering, right? Building stuff in the garage with your dad and all that?
Almost is 7'2". Oh, goddamn. Lesnar's 6'3", so a major height difference. Oh, yeah.
You've, moved pretty far beyond that, haven't you?
Yes and no. You could say I just moved the garage into my living room is all. But do you remember my other bit of inspiration? You know, that old show we both used to watch?
What was that show called?
Oh, right. I totally forgot that you were down with the
That's
OG
what it was.
herself. Bethany Britannica, girl genius.
As soon as the words leave my mouth, the gauntlet hums with energy. Then, in a flash of light, a glowing blue shield bursts to life around it.
Holy shit!
I flail my arm out of instinct as if to shake the shield right off of it. But it's futile. It's attached to the gauntlet, much like Madame Scorpion's energy sword is attached to its hilt. In fact, it might be made of the same stuff. I move my arm and down, examining the shield as it moves. It's semi-transparent and weightless, like a hologram. Cautiously, I reach out and give it a tap. It feels solid.
It'll take a lot more than that to get through. Trust me. You couldn't crack this thing with a 50 cal. I
Damn.
mean, it would knock you right on your ass, but it wouldn't
True.
get penetration. Should block Scorpion's sword, too. Just say those magic words, and presto! Instant protection. And if you say them again...
To be fair, it's quite a long activation code.
Bethany Britannica, girl genius.
The shield retracts back into the gauntlet.
Wow, that's... I wasn't expecting it, but that definitely makes me feel a lot less, disposable.
I lower the gauntlet and turn to Victoria. Can't believe she just whipped this up for me. Even if she had some spare equipment lying around to work with, it's impressive. More than that, it's just really nice. I open my mouth to say thanks, but Victoria stops me with a gesture.
Don't thank me yet. I have one last thing to show you.
She slowly steps forward. Oh, hello. Reaches into her pocket. At first, I think it could be another gadget. But when her hand emerges, it appears to be a small slip of paper.
I know you don't really need this, but...
She continues to step forward until she's as close as she was when she was teaching me how to use the gauntlet. Closer even. Only then does she show me what's on the slip. The slip of paper, a name tag with Stan written on it.
I figured it was appropriate.
She grins, peels off the name tag with a flourish, and places it on my chest, right over my henchman identification number.
Yeah, I guess it is.
My eyes move up from the name tag and stop on Victoria's. I don't even bother counting heartbeats this time, but I do notice that her hand hasn't left my chest.
I can't believe you did all this. And I really can't believe that you made Bethany Britannica Girl Genius the activation code for that shield.
Yeah, like I said, it seems a bit too long. In like the heat of combat, that's going to be very... She laughs, a mixture of mirth and mischief.
Come on, I had to make something mildly embarrassing about it after all that "let me tell you something" rookie crap. Besides, that was really the first time we met. I mean, sure, we'd seen each other on the job, but that was when I felt like we met each other.
The lack of tranquilizers helped.
Wait, you mean Neko? No.
Well, sure, but I haven't talked about that stuff with my dad in a long time. Not because it hurts or anything. I mean, I just saw him a couple weeks ago. It's just personal. Something that's mine as much as a secret identity. It helped turn me into who I am. But for some reason, I felt like I could talk about it with you, and you'd understand. Like we...
Oh, here it is, chat. Play Steins Gate. No, I don't play Weep Trash. I say as I'm playing multiple JRPGs on my personal stream. Alright, so this is it. I'm guessing by how everyone's reception to Kate was in the past couple of streams, I'm not gonna need, chat to jump in on this, but
Like we have something special.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You can thank me for the gifts now.
Solicitation is a crime, man. Let's go all in. Mwah. I smile but say nothing. Instead, I slip a hand around her waist and gently urge her closer. Her lips part, her breath catches, and something sparks behind those russet eyes. We're gonna get to third base with Kate. What little distance remains, we close together, and our lips meet in the middle. My eyes shut as I revel in the feeling. It's magnetic, like there's a jolt of electricity running through us that's pulling our bodies together. We couldn't fight it if we wanted to. Even as my eyes open and we pull apart, I can feel its aftershock still pulsing through me.
How's that for a thank you?
It's a start.
Once more, that magnetic energy begins to pull us together.
Oh, wait.
Suddenly, Victoria stops, pressing her hand against my chest and shaking her head.
Whew. Okay, all right. Just, give me a second.
What, we go a bit too quickly? Did we come on strong?
Actually, a little more than a second. Sorry.
Victoria gently pushes herself back and I let her go, my hand falling to my side.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Victoria steps away and we both take a deep breath. Shit, did I screw this up?
All right, okay. That was... wow. More than I expected.
Sorry, my bad. I just felt something and...
No, I felt it too. I wanted that. I still want it.
Okay, we didn't screw up, thank God. She closes her eyes and takes another breath. When her eyes open, there's a look there that I recognize. That patented shining Nova resolve.
But for someone like me, my life isn't just about what I want. it hasn't been for years, and it may never be again. So I have to be careful about this kind of thing. I can't just jump in. And that's not me making it an excuse, it's just... well, it's just how my life is. It's how I am. I need to pause and evaluate.
Right, that does sound like you when you say it like that. Not that you'd ever know from your carefree, impulsive lifestyle. Seriously though, it's cool. I can pause for as long as you need. I'll even have a recap ready for when you get back.
Yeah, clip show.
It won't be that long, I promise. This isn't me stopping anything. Like I said, it's a start. I want this.
She grins mischievously and folds her hands behind her back, reluctantly sliding further away.
But for tonight, why don't you try getting the hang of that gauntlet while I go prep for tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
I wave the gauntlet around a little and shrug.
I guess some practice would be good. I'd rather not blast my face off with this thing.
I'd rather you didn't either. That would definitely affect our evaluation.
Yeah, it will make kissing you very gross. By now, Victoria has backed up all the way to the door to her bedroom. She reaches for the handle.
Victoria, I wanted to.
She smirks.
I know. Good night, Stan.
I was the one that initiated it, so yeah, no shit. With that, she steps into her room and closes the door. I take a deep breath and rub my temple. Damn, she is something. I shake my head to get rid of the butterflies. Ball's in her court now. I just need to give her some space. And maybe figure out how to use this gift of hers while I'm at it. Come on, Stan, pull it together. You have all night to dream. Right now, you should get to work. And work I did, practicing my aim and wielding the gauntlet shield until late into the night. Under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't stay up so late. But the conversation I had with Victoria just keeps playing over and over in my head. Even after such a long day, her words and her smile power me forward with an energy I didn't know I had. I've got to get this right. For her. I don't bother checking the time when I finally collapse back on the couch, but before I can set an alarm, I'm fast asleep. That was a nice little romantic scene. That was cute, wasn't it? Morning comes, and the rosy fingers of dawn reach out and slap me right across the face. So despite my late night, I'm up early yet again. In hindsight, I really should have asked Victoria if her windows had any blinds. Luckily, my nap seems to have made up the difference, and by the time I've devoured another bowl of Hero O's and taken a shower, I find myself fully energized, not to mention a little less pungent. I pull the shirt Victoria left me over my head as I exit the bathroom. It's a lot more comfortable than my uniform, but I'm not sure why it says Postboy on it. Must be a brand.
Hey, nice shirt.
I jump in surprise, nearly tripping over myself as I turn to face Miss Dynamo, who is leaning against the nearby wall. Out of instinct, I take a cautious step backwards.
Easy there, sunshine. No need to be so jumpy.
Isn't there? Because yesterday, well...
What about yesterday?
You threatened me?
Remember?
Oh yeah, I did.
So that's really it then? You're over it? I'm not gonna turn my back and get stuffed into a mailbox when I least expect it?
Only for fun, not spite.
Oh,
Save
well,
my
if it's
real
for fun.
blacklist for people who do the wrong thing on purpose, like a certain arachnid. As long as you do the best you can and stay true to you, your ass will be postage free. Just don't go thinking it's because you're special or anything. I
Babaka.
forgave Captain Commander, and he tried to impale me with a flagpole when he was being mind-controlled. Nova just really trusts you, that's all. I've run through brick walls for that little nerd, even when she didn't want me to. So if you let her down, it won't be a mailbox or dumpster you end up in. It'll be a volcano.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh good. That's reassuring.
It's just what a budding relationship needs, I think. The looming threat of someone with godlike powers sending me straight to the Earth's core if it doesn't go well. They keep things discreet for now.
So maybe you can settle this. Is his name...
Oh, see, Captain Commander was what he called himself before being mind-controlled. Now he's Captain Commodore. That's where all the confusion comes from. Or, wait, was it the other way around?
Oh, hey, you're here early.
Victoria steps out of her room with a laptop and an overstuffed binder, which she places on a nearby table.
Hey, I'm always punctual, ain't I?
Only if we're going by Dynamo's standard time. Seriously, did you just come here to intimidate Stan again?
Yeah, feels like it.
No, we just had a nice chat. In fact, we're getting along famously, ain't we, Sunshine?
Before I can respond, I hear a whoosh and feel a finger poke the side of my head. Even a teasing tap like that sends me stumbling. By the time I've recovered, Dynamo is propped up against a pillar, grinning impishly.
Yeah, like a secret lair on fire.
Good! I knew you two could learn to coexist. And how about our other friend? Did he behave himself?
Yep, just followed me around in his usual creepy silence.
Dynamo jerks a thumb over in the direction of Victoria's workbench, where the shining Nova suit that had left with her yesterday stands like a statue. Oh, right, that's what happened. I forgot about that.
Don't tell me you're gonna get on me about giving it a voice too.
Gotta admit, it might be useful.
And awesome. Just imagine, you're out in the field, and suddenly... Listen, you're looking right schmick out there, but me power's at 50 bloomin'%, so be a mite and give me a charge, yeah?
Remember what I was saying? This guy voices Jace?
Or how about a Russian one? No, Scottish.
You know, I think you two might be worse when you're working together. And my suit won't be getting a voice no matter what the accent is. At least not until we've taken care of the matter at hand. I think I finally got a winning plan that's going to take down Scorpion, but it's going to take a lot of work from all of us. So focus up. Though first, I need some coffee. Stan, would you mind helping me with that?
Sure.
Victoria heads to the kitchenette and I follow. Dynamo raises a suspicious eyebrow but doesn't object. As Victoria fills up her coffee maker with water, I grab a pair of mugs.
So, about last night, I'm still, evaluating, but I don't regret it. I just want you to know that.
Admit it, you like teasing me.
Admit it. You just like teasing me.
Well, obviously, I'm planning to milk this for, I don't know. Is a month too much of a stretch?
You're a monster. And here I thought superheroes were merciful.
Just some of us. But speaking of, let's try to keep this to ourselves for now, okay? I promise we'll talk more later. But for now, there's still a lot to do, and...
Yeah, I get it. She casts a knowing glance in Dynamo's direction, and I nod in understanding.
Yeah, I get it. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
Soon enough, the coffee is ready, and we return from the kitchenette to find Dynamo picking up one of Victoria's workbenches and setting it gently down in the middle of the apartment. Apparently, this is standard procedure because Victoria doesn't even acknowledge it. She just sets about getting her laptop hooked up to something and spreading the sheets of paper from her binder across the table. So with a shrug, I grab a stool and sit down across from Dynamo, though I use both hands. Not long after, Victoria has activated a holographic display of some kind, though it's looking a little cluttered.
I swear, you've always got 1,000 tabs open.
Because I always have a lot to do, okay? There's a system.
There's always a system.
Victoria clears her throat and hastily clears the display, leaving only images of Lord Bedlam, Madam Scorpion, and Lord Bedlam's lair.
Anyway, let's recap the situation. Scorpion Group's latest product, the Henchman mobile app, was rolled out to 22 low-grade supervillains since it went into beta this summer. The latest being Lord Bedlam. Each of those supervillains engage in heists at server farms and data science facilities across the globe, just weeks after enrolling in the app. Bedlam was no exception, but when we intervened...
Bitchface Supreme showed up personally to get in the way.
Yes, Madam Scorpion
that's a name.
countered in person. That told us 3 things. 1, there was more to this than an app. 2, whatever it was, she had to be close to her goal to show her hand like that. And 3, there was something special about Lord Bedlam.
I'm sorry, time out. Did you say there was something special about Lord Bedlam? The same Lord Bedlam that robbed a pet store last month.
Yeah, good question.
That's exactly what I said, which is why Little Miss Super Spy over here decided to investigate in person.
After doing a little financial sleuthing, of course.
She gestures to some of the papers that are spread across the table. Receipts, tax information, all leading to Lord Bedlam.
That's how I knew he was building something. I just didn't know what or where. Luckily, Scorpion was using Henchcan to reload his roster, and you know the rest.
Right. So she used him to build the world's largest, most evil custom PC in existence. She stole a bunch of data, and she's crowdsourcing henchmen. How is it all connected?
I wasn't sure either, not until I was around her long enough to confirm something about her. Remember that important little detail I told you yesterday morning?
Her
Her
powers.
powers?
Exactly. These are all tools that she can use in perfect harmony with her own superhuman abilities. Before I was able to see her operate up close, the idea of her cerebral superprocessing was just a theory. Most of her abilities were. She rarely steps into the limelight, and when she does, she leaves a smokescreen.
And a stench. But you're right. I've taken her on more than anyone, and I still can't nail down exactly what she's capable of.
She really doesn't like her, doesn't she?
Until last night, you mean?
Exactly. This last heist was the final push she needed, and she couldn't resist the urge to see to it personally, even if that meant using her powers in front of us, however subtly.
Maybe she thought it wouldn't matter as long as she killed you before you could act on it.
Or maybe she was trying to show off for Casanova here. I think she was into you.
Seriously? Oh, gross.
Yeah, I felt that
Thinking
too.
about that makes me feel slimy.
Well, I wasn't into her back, all right? You know that.
No? Then what are you into then?
Do we have to know? I'm already feeling a little queasy here.
No, I guess not. In any event, when you take her power into account, things begin to make sense.
With a few taps on her keyboard, Victoria starts flipping through more images on the hologram of the other villains and their lairs from across the world. Soon they all show up on a map.
The data that Lord Bedlam and the other villains in the Henchcan beta program stole is on these servers on a private network, which she can connect to through...
Scorpions! The hearts of men.
The Henchcan app.
Bingo! Not only does it give her a mercenary army of henchmen to use at will, it also gives her direct access to her network at thousands of locations around the world. As long as a phone with Henchcan installed is nearby, she can connect and put her cerebral superprocessing into overdrive. It'll be like she's a chess supercomputer on steroids. She'll be impossible to outmaneuver.
Damn, that's actually kind of cool.
Well, if we can't outsmart her, then we'll just have to overpower her.
I'm not sure that'll be an option either. If she can make her calculations fast enough... Well, we can't let it come to that. That's why the three of us are putting a stop to it tomorrow.
You mean the two of you are stopping it while I get you water bottles and orange slices, right? Look, I said I'd help, but this sounds nuts. And it's like I said when you asked why I became a henchman. I'm just a face in a crowd. There's nothing special about me that could help you guys out here. You could grab someone off the street instead, honestly. I don't see what I bring to the table here. If Scorpion's got all this going for her, what the hell can I do to help you stop her?
I'm getting to that, but you really need to stop selling yourself short.
Oh, but it's what I'm best at.
I know you don't like to stand out in a crowd, but you're not an interchangeable cog in a machine. The world is made of individuals. No one has your exact experience and personality. There's no one in this world who can round out this team in the way that you can, especially because that's something that drives you, a penchant for teamwork. Honestly, that glimmer of selflessness is part of the reason you impressed me, and part of why you can help.
All right. So, what sort of help am I providing then?
Like I said, I'm getting to that.
Please, quickly. Victoria clears the holographic display and brings up a map of the secret lair. It's not complete, but it's accurate. She probably made it while she was undercover.
If the escape hatch in the cafeteria isn't on any existing maps of the lair, then it's in her power's blind spot. That means she may not have found it yet.
A dot appears in the cafeteria's loading bay, followed by the word Alpha.
So, our Alpha team will enter there, but only after our Beta team has forcibly entered through a more visible entrance here.
A dot appears in the main chamber marked as Beta.
Beta's goal is to destroy all the transports. What are they called again, Stan?
Bedlam copters.
Seriously? Well, they can't be that dangerous if they're named after that dweeb.
Yeah, we're fine.
But they can still fly, so we need to neutralize them to prevent any escapes. Luckily, their exit in the roof of the chamber is a perfect entryway for an airborne incursion. Beta Team's job is to bust through that exit, destroy or disable the Bedlam copters, and then engage the inevitable reinforcements. Meanwhile, Alpha Team will covertly enter through the cafeteria and fight its way to the supercomputer chamber.
Swarm of red X's move from across the base to the main chamber, while a green line winds its way through the halls until it reaches the supercomputer.
Once there, Alpha Team will upload a malware package to the supercomputer that should get the whole network stuck in a loop. At least, I hope. I just finished it last night, so testing hasn't been robust. But if it works, then it should give us a chance to incapacitate Madam Scorpion and escape.
That's what I like to hear. Only problem is, why is my team Beta Team? I should be Alpha Team this time. That's bullshit.
Oh, come on.
How do you know you're Beta Team? I never said you were.
It's the Smash Shit team, and the other one is Sneaky Cybercode team. It's not hard to do the math.
Fine, you're right. Alpha Team is Stan and I, and you're...
Just say Dynamo for God's sake.
Okay, you're just Dynamo then. But one other thing, and don't be mad. If Scorpion shows up, you briefly engage and then retreat.
What? Why?
Because until we take down that system, she's too dangerous. And she's fought you before. In fact, she's gone out of her way to fight you. It sets off alarm bells, like she's counting on your interference.
She wants to fight you.
So what? I can take her. Even with that nanotech or whatever she's got pumped into her, she's not as strong as me.
And I'm sure she knows that, but she avoided me and attacked you at the data science lab anyway. Something's not right about it. Just promise to play it safe. Please?
Don't give me the puppy look. Fine. I'll be careful, all right?
Good. Then that leaves Stan and I as Alpha Team.
Yeah, not feeling Alpha Team. Yeah,
Not
let's
really
go with
feeling
that.
Alpha Team. What about something like Sabotage Squad, or at least Alpha Force?
Both taken and probably cursed. They go through members so fast that at one point the Sabotage Squad was one chick with a baseball bat and a Jersey accent. It was a whole thing.
Suicide Squad reference, yeah, we get it.
Personally, I think you should go with Hench and Wrench.
And that's exactly why you never get to come up with the names. Anyway, that covers the high-level plan. If it goes smoothly, I'll handle the malware activation myself. But just in case, you'll both have backup drives. They'll be plug and play, but a little slower than if I hook in directly. Any questions?
Let's see. Pillar of Light?
Sort
What?
of. I mean, Scorpion's plan definitely seems dangerous, but shouldn't she be threatening to blow something up? Or at least, like, merge all the computers into her brain through a big pillar of light? I always thought these things needed a pillar of light.
Not her style. Megabitch Prime doesn't go for those over-the-top stunts. She still thinks like an assassin. It's the blade you don't see that kills you.
That's part of why she's so dangerous. We get so distracted by the loud Lord Bedlam types out there that supervillains like her too often work unnoticed. And by the time we see them, well, that won't happen this time.
Damn right! Man, I can't wait to see the look on that stupid, slimy face.
Victoria shuts off the hologram and exhales, before gesturing to the papers scattered across the table.
Anyway, I printed out some additional intel for you guys to take a look at. I need to tune up Kepler, but just holler if anything else comes up.
Homework? On printed paper? You're killing me, Victoria.
And if you're not prepared, Scorpion might actually kill you, so quit whining. We leave from here at 5:35 tomorrow morning, so we don't have much time. But if we work together and follow the plan, I know we'll succeed.
It's not exactly the Gettysburg Address, but something about Victoria's words motivates me all the same. While Dynamo continues to protest, I find myself gathering up a few sheets and getting to work. Maybe it's the very fact that it's not a grand call to arms that I find so effective. I'm not being commanded into battle, I'm being talked to like an equal, even though I know I'm really not. Three of us split off to different corners of the apartment, and Time flies as we set about preparing. Victoria works quietly on her suit, and I do my best to memorize her reports. Eventually, Miss Dynamo flies off. Ostensibly, it's to go on a patrol for a while to throw another red herring out there, but I don't think that fools Victoria. Based on how she shrugged it off, she probably expected it. Nighttime again. When my eyes start to hurt from reading, I wash my uniform, stuff some cereal down my gullet, and practice more with the gauntlet Victoria gave me while she puts up her suit through its paces. At first, the weightlessness of the shield threw my brain for a loop, but I'm getting the hang of it now. As much as I can get the hang of anything with all these butterflies in my stomach. Some of them are from what awaits me tomorrow. The rest are blue, white, and gold. Should I say anything? No. I said I'd give her time. I meant it. Tomorrow's important. I shouldn't distract her with something like that. Tomorrow's uncertain, too. What if I embarrass myself or mess things up and the electricity of the moment is gone? What if we already lost it and I haven't realized it yet? What if...
Stop!
Jesus Christ!
I jump and nearly smack myself in the head with my shield as I turn to face the intruder, who turns out to be Victoria in her full shining Nova regalia. I let out a sigh of relief and verbally deactivate my shield.
What's wrong? Having a painful flashback to the day
Yeah,
we
excuse
met?
me.
Something like that. Sorry, I was spaced out. Is it dark outside? When did that happen?
Victoria's suit cracks open as she steps out. She wipes the lock of her hair out of her eyes and stretches out at her shoulder. Light catches the glint of sweat in her skin and that glint of whiskey in her eyes. I'm staring, I know, but this time I don't try to hide it.
Still early, but you must really be in orbit if you missed the sun setting. Is something on your mind?
I open my mouth to reply, but hesitate halfway there. No, that's too direct, isn't it? I shake my head and hold up the gauntlet.
Oh, you know, just this gift of yours. Still trying to get used to it and... who am I kidding?
I pull the gauntlet off and set it aside. Taking in a sharp breath, I turn to face Victoria. This time I don't stop myself.
Victoria,
Need a break? Good, me too. In fact, that's why I came to check on you.
Before I can respond, she grabs my hand and pulls me forward. Wait, is she stepping back into the suit? Hold on.
Let's get a breath of fresh air.
Holy shit!
And we're off. Suddenly my feet leave the ground and we're rocketing upwards. My eyes are forced closed as the cold night air whips across my face. My stomach drops so fast it's as though it's been left behind entirely. Then, just when my heart feels like it can't beat any faster, the roar of the thrusters quiets, and our pace slows until at last it feels like we've come to a stop. Still don't feel anything beneath my legs. For a moment they flail in reflexive panic, and a voice soothes my nerves and opens my eyes.
Just relax.
Oh, it's cute.
You okay?
Yeah, actually. Are you? You're looking, a little exposed.
Of course I am. I'm still in the driver's seat. I just cracked the window a little.
So you've done this before.
Oh, hell no. This is a first.
It does seem a little risky for you.
Yeah, but I want to take risks with you.
Aww. I didn't notice that we'd pulled so close. Our lips meet and all my senses are overwhelmed by that surge of electricity, even more potent than before. When at last we part, we don't need to speak. For a long moment we just hold close to each other, floating silently among the stars.
It's peaceful up here. With you.
We're gonna ham this up like crazy.
It's beautiful, but it can't compare to you.
You cornball. Cut it out.
But I was just about to dust off my poetry skills. Oh, Victoria, I could compare thee to a twinkling star.
I could drop you. Right now.
Nah, you'd miss me too much. You'd catch me.
Yeah, I would. I promise.
You better.
Just as long as you promise to hold on to me.
I will. Promise. Oh, Victoria, how shall I cling to thee? Let me count the ways.
Oh my god, shut up.
Still laughing, she leans in and I happily oblige. And so we drift through the starry sky, filling the clouds with lightning for who knows how long. Can't say I've been keeping track. Lost all concern for time. I know that from the moment she took my hand to the moment that we at last drift off to sleep, entwined together in her bed. It'll be a night that lasts forever for both of us. That was adorable. Into the Breach, which is a game I really need to check out at some point.
Look at that! The ground didn't even
Hold up,
crack.
I'm being pinged on the
Told you
Discord.
I could do a stealth dive from that height.
Nothing super important.
Not bad, I admit. I was fully expecting the usual crater.
Well, one of us had to have a graceful landing, and it wasn't going to be you while you were carrying that cargo.
I'm a passenger, thank you very much. I bought a ticket and everything.
As Victoria sets me down, I straighten up to my full height and dust myself off, trying to puff out my chest a little. Does nothing to remove the shit-eating grin on Dynamo's face.
If you think he looks like luggage now, you should have seen him the first time.
Gee, thanks for the backup. And for the record, I was perfectly composed up until that dive. Why did we have to do that from so high up anyway?
Best way to get in undetected. Fly high, dive fast, land quiet.
But ain't nothing gonna be quiet about this next part.
But it will be careful, right?
Yes, shining stick in the mud, I'll be careful. Frankly, I'm more worried about you. You're the one with the escort mission, and those are always the worst. You sure you don't need a minute to review?
Victoria tilts her helmet in my direction. I swear the lights in her visor blink as if she's winking.
Nah, I think we're on the same page.
Oh yeah, same paragraph even.
Think we could get it down to the same sentence?
Depends on the wording, but I'm sure we could find one or two that we're in sync on.
What in the hell are you two nerds even talking about anymore?
We're dating. Nothing.
Oh, just an inside joke. You know, from,
All the research we did last night. Lots of intel, lots of reading, verbs, adjectives, all sorts of interjections. Boring stuff.
dead boring. You're lucky you snuck out early. You'd have hated it.
You know something? I don't doubt it. You two are so freaking weird.
Yeah, nerds are weird. Victoria and I share a glance, and I can practically see the playful grin lurking somewhere behind that helmet.
Well, whatever. If you're ready to get this party
Why
started,
is there a
then
fly
so
in
am
here?
I.
Get out of here.
Let's do this already.
Roger that. Go raise some hell.
When don't I? See you on the other side, sister.
And like that, Miss Dynamo is off, a black and blue blur zigzagging her way through the forest, kicking leaves up in her wake. Have to bat a few away from my face. When we're both sure she's gone, Victoria and I share a look and immediately start laughing.
This isn't gonna stay a secret for very long, is it?
And whose fault is that? All sorts of interjections? God, you're the worst. Though, honestly, I don't care if it's a secret once this is over. At least where my friends are concerned.
Really? I thought there'd be a whole rule book. You know, a system.
Well, kind of. But we'll figure that out later. For now, the only secret you need to worry about is my name. So, just to make sure. In the field, I'm always shining Nova. Got it?
And in bed? I want that, but I also want a superhero name. I'll go with the superhero
Yeah,
name.
sure. But I gotta get me one of those superhero names.
Not right now, though. We'd have to pause the whole mission to get you a new name tag.
She playfully pokes me in the chest right in the middle of the name tag she gave me last night.
Is that gonna be a thing now? Like, am I gonna get a name tag if you start calling me by a pet name?
Yep. It'll be really embarrassing. You'll love it.
Gotta get rid of all those name tags somehow, I guess.
As Victoria walks past me, I feel a metal hand slap against my butt cheek, causing me to hop forward in surprise. She was trying to touch my butt.
Come on, get that ass in gear.
Not to be outdone, I start after her and try to return the favor.
This isn't fair when you're in that thing.
Maybe not, but it's fun.
Now with a sore butt cheek and a sore hand, I sigh in defeat and follow after her. Forest is as quiet as when we left it. No guards or automated security bots accost us. Not that Lord Bedlam can afford a robot army, but Madame Scorpion definitely can. Either Nova was right and Scorpion didn't realize that we escaped this way, or she's extremely confident that we're not a threat. So this could be a really good start or a really bad one. Hard to say.
So by the way, how will we know when Dynamo...
Like that. A distant boom echoes across the wilderness, shaking the ground and causing flocks of birds to scatter in a panic.
That's how. Come on, let's pick up the pace a little. I don't want to leave Dynamo exposed for too long.
Victoria starts moving at a jog, armor clanking with each step, and I follow. Before long, we reach the very same door that we used to escape, still sealed from the inside and still unguarded. Without hesitation, Victoria focuses one of her suit's beam weapons on the entrance and activates it, quickly melting through the steel around the door until it falls forward with a thud.
Entrance is clear. Go ahead, I'll watch your back.
Just watch it, huh? A likely story.
Slowly, I start sliding towards the door and make sure to face Victoria the whole time to keep my posterior protected. The strategy only makes her laugh.
You know I'll tag that other cheek eventually. You can't keep this up the whole time.
Watch me. I can get through these halls backwards any day.
I point to my eyes, then to her visor to signal that I'm watching her as I back through the entrance, where I immediately stumble on the lip of the doorway.
That didn't count. Still not in the halls yet, technically.
With an exasperated sigh, Victoria follows me through the breach. We slip into the darkness together. I squint, trying to adjust to the lower light, and soon after that I wrinkle my nose. Jesus, it's so musty in here. Is that new, or had I just gotten used to it? Add that to the reasons why quitting was the right call, I guess. We make our way through the loading dock and reach the door to the kitchens, but when we open it, it's hardly any brighter.
Should the kitchen be abandoned right now?
Not normally, but maybe they evacuated. The lair's never been invaded, so people could be panicking.
Slowly, I creep forward through the kitchen. Not that it does me a lot of good, with the suit of mechanized armor that's clanking right behind me. It's instinct, I suppose. When we reach the cafeteria, I'm surprised to find that even that room is dark. Okay, either Miss Dynamo shut down the lair's power, or...
You fools!
There he is! I shield my eyes as the lights turn on, while Shining Nova snaps to attention, weapons ready.
You've fallen right into my trap, you little shits. Like a lamb liver into a deep fryer. I knew I'd find you here. No one else could figure out how you escaped, but I knew. Chef Antonio always knows.
With all the swagger of a proper supervillain, Chef Antonio lumbers out from around the corner, just as a contingent, God, dyslexia, as a contingent of henchmen in aprons and hairnets rise up from the tables they'd been hiding behind. Didn't realize that we had such big kitchen staff. Yet even with their numbers, it's a little hard to take them seriously when they're brandishing ladles and frying pans.
Figured you might have escaped this way before. I could tell that someone had been through my kitchen. The question was, would you be stupid enough to trespass through my domain not once, but twice? Twice? No one could be that stupid, could they? And yet, here you are, twice as stupid.
Oh no, you got us. Whatever will we do? If only we'd ran into Madame Scorpion instead. Then we might have stood a chance.
You should be so freaking
Also, it sounds like someone forgot her,
Boss lady
voice
wanted the
modulator.
traitor alive, but I'd rather serve your head to her on a silver platter. So I decided to keep this little secret to myself.
We have silver platters?
We have silver platters? Since when?
Of course we do! What are you implying? That I'm not classy enough for that, huh? I'll have you know that I was a Michigan Star chef, you grease stain!
Mean Michelin star?
I think you're just confused, man. You have to know that it's Michelin star, right?
Ah, what do you know? Michigan Stars are just as good! Just as good!
Sure, dude.
Good job. Way to provoke him.
Don't be too impressed. It's not that hard. Plus, he hates me, remember?
Still, the others will be uncoordinated without orders. Just keep him busy, and I'll handle the rest.
With an unintelligible battle cry, Chef Antonio charges forward. As Victoria takes off towards the kitchen staff, I unsheath my baton and raise my gauntlet. Here we go. I ready myself as the villainous chef lumbers forward, picking up steam like a truck that's lost its brakes. Only now do I realize just how big the man is. A lot bigger than me, that's for sure. And some of that is definitely muscle. So it's a sure bet that he's stronger too. He's heading right for me.
Well, shit.
Dodge!
Nope, that's a whole freight train worth a note.
As he closes the distance, the enraged chef lowers his shoulder. At the last possible second, I leap out of the way.
Hold still, damn it!
Video Games 101, if a big lumbering enemy comes charging at you, step out of the way so it smacks into a wall. Frantically, I scramble to my feet as the big man skids to a halt. It takes a long time for him to stop completely. Christ, he had some real momentum there. If I'd held my ground, I'd have been flattened. Definitely the right call to get out of the way, but just avoiding him is only delaying the inevitable. Need to find a way to take him down.
I used to be a big deal, you know. The creme de la creme. King of the freaking castle. Then those good-for-nothing inspectors came along with their health code violations and risks to public health and safety. Well, you know what I have to say to that?
Baloney?
Bullshit, that's what! Bullshit upon bullshit, a whole mountain of bullshit. But I knew the truth. They were bought and paid for. They had to be. It was those sniveling little weasels at Mama Mozzarella's. They put them up to it. And the funny thing, one of those health inspectors, he looked an awful lot like
Oh,
you.
God.
I bet your family, ain't you? I bet you were in on it.
You know, I want to deny that, but if you came up with that whole theory in the first place, then I don't think I've got much hope of convincing you otherwise. So hey, if it makes you feel better, it was me, Antonio. I'm the one behind it all. That health inspector, a clone from another dimension that I controlled with my mind. And Mama Mozzarella? Why, Mr. Giamatti, I am Mama Mozzarella.
Oh, dear God.
I knew it! I knew it was you this whole time!
Oh, I love this writing. At the very least, I can check convoluted identity reveal off the old bucket list before he reduces me into a chunky meat sauce. Man, what's wrong with me? Can't help but antagonize this guy. I probably deserve this beating, but I can't afford it. Not now. I've got more important things to deal with. So somehow I've got to find a way to beat him. To do that, I need to neutralize his strength. And then I need to hit him with everything I've got. I need to surprise him, I guess. Surprise him. Yeah, my only chance is to catch him off guard. Need to use something in my toolbox that he's not familiar with.
You know what? I don't need this to beat you.
I collapse my baton and stow it on my belt and then make a show of raising my fist like an old-timey boxer.
Put him up, big man. Let's go.
Happy to, Pipsqueak. It's your funeral.
Chef grins maniacally, cackling, Slexia, please, let me read. Cracking his sizable knuckles as he confidently stalks forward.
You know what? You're right. So on second thought...
I activate my gauntless cannon and aim it right at Antonio's chest.
Ah, shit.
I fire 2 blasts for good measure, though they're non-lethal. They leave the chef's apron singed as he stumbles backwards.
You little shit. This a bunch of below.
Of
Surprise!
course.
You got knocked the hell out. Now I'm kind of hungry though, not gonna lie.
Also, what happened to all the other henchmen that were here? As I catch my breath, Nova pulls in for a landing right beside me.
Hey, nice job. That guy was no pushover, and you handled him all on your own. I'm impressed.
Thanks. Wasn't easy though.
Never is. But if you stick with this whole hero thing, you'll figure that out.
So with my old rival vanquished and his culinary kingdom covered in blast marks and unconscious kitchen staff, we head for the cafeteria's exit in the hallway beyond. With mechanical precision, Victoria raises her weapon and scans the hallway, checking first her left, then her
Right
right.
there.
Ooh, that was crisp. You know, if this superhero gig ever falls through, you could always star in some video games. Quick, tell me to stay frosty.
Alright, we're breaking up.
Oh no!
Wow, that was a whole 3 hours faster than usual. But on the plus side, I guess that means we were official?
The only thing official here is that you're officially getting left behind.
No, wait, come back! At that, Victoria hops into the air and starts flying forward. Slow enough to maintain control through the labyrinthian hallways, but fast enough to quickly leave me in the dust.
Hey, wait up! I'm Oscar Mike, I swear. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, come on!
I get those references. Very lame shield. Who gets that reference? That doesn't seem to help, as she only turns to wave a casual goodbye before turning down another hallway in the exact wrong direction.
Other way, superstar.
A moment later, Nova re-emerges, hovering sheepishly as she corrects her
I
course.
knew that. Obviously. That's how you know I was joking.
By now, I've managed to catch up, and Victoria turns off her thrusters, opting instead to jog beside me as I take a left turn. It's still weird hearing her normal voice from inside that thing, especially when she's embarrassed.
Don't worry, in the games you'll have a mini-map. For now, all you've got is me.
Okay, fine. Breakup rescinded.
Yay, we're back together again.
Nice. Looks like all those years of memorizing the longest possible route to the bathroom have finally paid off. Who says slackers can't get girls?
Don't mistake correlation for causation here. Seriously though, it's a big help. It would have taken forever to map this place out by hand, and satellite's a no-go. We'll be lucky if our radio's even...
Do you read, Alpha Team? Nova, pick up the damn call.
Wow, radios actually work here?
I'm here. Status?
The birds are grounded, but the queen fish of the mountain put 2 and 2 together. You've got company headed your way. Don't worry though,
Crap.
she didn't go herself. I'll keep her occupied.
Not for too long.
Sorry, you're breaking up.
Dynamo, promise me.
I promise. Just relax. It's me.
So we know you're going to screw it up, got it. As Dynamo hangs up and Victoria shakes her head. Clearly, that's exactly what she's afraid of. I give her a knowing look and pick up the pace. We need to take advantage of the empty holes while we can. And for a time we do. In fact, we make such good progress, I'm starting to feel a little optimistic. Until we round the corner and are greeted by an all too familiar sound.
You fools!
He's back! I skid to a halt and reach for my baton, but I freeze when I take in just how many purple-clad subordinates accompany my former boss. That's at least 3 whole squads.
Did you think that you could gallivant through the very heart of my domain without I, the omnipotent Lord Bedlam, discovering your presence? Nothing escapes my eye. Nothing! Much less treasonous scum like you, Christy. I never forget the face of a traitor.
Christy?
Actually, I'm Stan. That's Christy.
I point to a woman who stands to Lord Bedlam's right. He whirls about in confusion before Christy offers a helpful wave.
Wait, I thought you were Moon.
No, that's Moon.
I point to another henchman and Lord Bedlam again starts to look around before quickly giving up.
Enough of this! It doesn't matter if your name is Dan, Spartacus, or much less Shiny Nova. You are a filthy treasonist! You have betrayed our cause, our family, and most importantly, me! And you, hero, you have been a thorn in my side for far too long.
We just met this week.
Far too long, I say. But that ends today on this hallowed ground. With fire in our bellies and villainy in our hearts, the light of your twinkling little star shall at last be extinguished.
The only thing that's gone on too long is the speech. So I'm going to cut this short. Unless, of course, you stand down. I know you think that being able to order all these people around makes you strong, but I'm gonna level with you. This still won't go your way. I mean, you can try, but it won't. Your call. I can't make it for you.
He's still gonna charge in.
No, you can't, because I have already opened the contacts on my phone of destiny and blocked your number. And now I shall complete the prophecy and delete you entirely.
I love how Lord Bedlam is written.
Attack my steadfast supporters! Attack with every weapon, fist, and crude insult you have!
Quick, vicious mockery, go! At Lord Bedlam's command, my former co-workers rush forward, some firing beam weapons and others brandishing their batons. Nova returns fire with her own weaponry, which immediately draws the bulk of their barrage. Maybe I should give her some support. Then again, this might give me an opening to counterattack. Use the shield to cover Nova, I'm guessing. No, I'm not one packing the firepower here. My one little wrist cannon doesn't compare to Shining Nova's full arsenal. Best way to end this quickly is to give her the chance to unleash it.
Don't worry, Nova. I'm Bethany Britannica, girl genius.
God, that's so embarrassing. As soon as the words leave my mouth, the glowing blue shield emerges from my gauntlet. By the time it's fully materialized, I'm already sliding across the floor towards Shining Nova. I catch her glancing in my direction and nodding in approval out of the corner of my eye. Looks like we were thinking the same thing. As I skid to a halt in front of her, I rise to one knee and angle my shield forward. The charging henchman forming a one-man shield wall behind me. No. Let me redo that. Dyslexia screwed me up. As I skid to a halt in front of her, I rise to one knee and angle my shield forward towards the charging henchman, forming a one-man shield. Full stop. Behind me, Nova crouches down with both arms raised. I hear a series of mechanisms lock into place as Nova reveals a whole armory's worth of weaponry. Seeing what's happening, the henchmen fire their weapons with renewed fervor. What doesn't miss entirely collides harmlessly with my shield, leaving Nova free to take aim and brace herself completely unabated.
Just remember, this was your call.
With that, Nova unleashes a barrage of return fire so all-encompassing that it changes the lighting in the whole damn hallway. By the time it dies down, what few henchmen that are left standing have dropped their weapons and decided to flee in terror.
Nice job. That was clean. We're getting the hang of this. You really are a girl genius.
Oh, shucks.
I still can't believe I have to say that every time.
Meanwhile, I noticed that at least one person hasn't fled. Lord Bedlam himself.
Where are you going, comrades? The battle has just begun! Get back here! Get back here and protect me! I mean, destroy this corrupt pawn of society!
Oh, I don't think they're coming back, buddy. It's down to you.
Yes, it is down to me. Just as it always has been, as it always shall be. I, Lord Bedlam, stand alone against this sickly, rotten society. I, Lord Bedlam, stand against you, an enforcer of unjust laws and unfair message board moderation.
Oh my god, shut up about message board mods.
And I, Lord Bedlam, am the proud owner of a groinal defense cup. Yes, that's right, foul oppressor. Your devious stratagems can
Right, because we hit him in the
affect me.
crotch before we left.
In fact,
I forgot
with
about
my
that.
newly fortified, locally sourced, and aggressively trademarked chaos armor, your inferior energy beams stand no hope of piercing my defenses. For I, Lord Bedlam, am...
Without a word, Nova casually fires a blast at one of Lord Bedlam's horns, spinning his helmet around backwards.
Ah, you coward! What have you done? Where are you? Coward! Heathen! Fiend! Someone get this thing turned around! Where's that new girl? Kara! Kylie! Katrina! Get this stupid thing turned around!
He really doesn't know, does he?
Not a clue. Come on, let's get out of here before he forgets that I'm a traitor and starts yelling for me next.
With our path cleared, Nova and I start forward down the hall, leaving Lord Bedlam wandering blindly in our wake. By the time he's out of earshot, there's nothing but empty hallway ahead of us. Guess that was the bulk of the reinforcements. Maybe now that we're past them, we have a clear path to the supercomputer room.
Alpha team? Nova, come in. It's Dynamo.
I read you. What's wrong? Tell me you're not still engaged.
No, I'm not. I pulled out a minute ago.
Phrasing.
Good. I take it that means she's headed our way?
Probably, but also, you should know, I'm bleeding a little. I don't know how, but she actually cut me.
What? Since when can she... Never mind. Just tell me you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I got it while I was retreating, actually. Something didn't feel right, and, well, if you hadn't told me to fall back, it could have been a lot worse. Just do me a favor and step on the accelerator a little. Throw Sunshine over your shoulder if you have to. She's not screwing around here.
Yeah, I figured she might be past the stage of playing with her food. I'll be careful, but you go get yourself patched up ASAP, and don't rush it. An EMT isn't exactly equipped for someone like you.
I hear myself gulp as Nova signs off. Nothing like someone who can shrug off mortar shells telling you to be careful to make the old sphincter clench. Hopefully we have enough of a head start. Of course, as soon as that thought crosses my mind, a door opens right next to me. I let out a yelp and both Nova and I whirl around to find...
Phew! All this stress is
Oh,
really
no,
doing a
not
number
Dave.
on me. Maybe I should...
Dave stops dead, the locker room door still open behind him.
Oh, hey, Dave!
So remember, we beat the absolute crap out of him last stream, so he's probably not going to be too happy with us.
Hey, Stan.
You remember Shining Nova, don't you?
Sup?
We've met briefly, yes.
Okay, cool. So, we kind of have places to be, but great seeing you. Really great. And if you want my opinion, it's probably all the baloney. You should try changing up your diet.
Stan, not now.
Right, yeah. Like I said, big hurry. Catch you later, though. You look great.
I turn to go, hoping he won't make his usual fuss.
Found you.
Uh-oh. Damn it. I knew he'd... Wait. That didn't sound like Dave. That didn't sound like Dave at all.
Down now!
Just as I expected. You'll put up more of a fight in that turtle shell of yours, won't you?
Are we seriously fighting in the showers? Alright. With a groan, I try to peel myself off the floor. My uniform is coated in dust and I'm surrounded by debris. If Victoria hadn't been so quick to scoop me up and dive into the locker room, I might be buried beneath the rubble. My eyes land on a shock of blonde hair sticking out from the rubble. Guess Dave wasn't so lucky. Not his fault. Scorpions slash an entire wall to pieces. The locker room is now permanently adjoined to the hallway. And stepping through that giant hole where the door used to be is none other than Madame Scorpion herself, cutting an imposing figure. Standing across from her, somehow even Shining Nova's armor seems small.
I'm not here just to put up a fight, Scorpion. I'm here to put you down.
Are you now? I find that hard to believe considering your tactics. Did you honestly think that petulant child had any chance of stalling me for more than a heartbeat? And you actually brought dear Stanley along with you as well? It reeks of desperation.
Hi, ma'am.
Don't tell me you and he are. My, you are desperate in every sense. I knew you had a penchant for broken toys, but not like that. Oh, honey. This explains so much.
Hey, you were kinda into me for a bit, too.
You don't know anything about me or him. But go ahead. Keep calling me honey. See what smoking crater that lands you in.
Really? Must we continue to trade barbs like common costumed barbarians? Come now, you're better than that. We both are. See? Look. I'm deactivating my weapon. Let's have a little chat, Like professionals?
What exactly do you think there is to chat about?
Besides how hopeless your little lost cause is, you mean? Well, there's the matter of what your cause actually is, for one. What about my pet project warrants such a swift and violent reprisal?
I take it by pet project you're referring to the petabytes worth of private data you stole?
Is that the problem? My method of acquisition? Surely you're joking. The corporations that owned that data stole it in the first place. Or do you think I'd have been more justified if I made them tick a terms of service box first? Don't be so naive. You're smarter than that.
Yeah, you guys really need to start, like, reading those terms of service things that they send you instead of just immediately clicking on them, because, boy, you're setting yourself up for some really screwed up stuff.
But those companies aren't plugging that data.
Trying my
into their
hardest to stay
goddamn
PG
brain
here
just
with
to
my,
serve their own twisted
language.
ends. There are rules, regulations.
Oh, please. In principle, that's exactly what they're doing. The only differences are that I can do so by myself instead of hiring a whole division, and I'm not masking my intentions. I'm much more honest, really. So why go through all this trouble? Especially when your odds of victory are dwindling so quickly. Even if by some miracle you succeeded, someone else will try the exact same thing. Just less elegantly.
Why? You mean aside from the wanton violence and senseless murder?
Well, there is that. But must we get hung up on technicalities?
I'm afraid we must.
Very well. In that case, I have a confession. Even if you decided to flee, I was going to kill you anyway.
Super exciting fight in a visual novel. Madame Scorpion bursts forward with death in her eyes and bloodthirsty grin on her face. Her blade drags behind her, melting a red-hot line in the ground as she streaks towards her prey like the trail of a missile. Nova's left arm snaps up and she fires, forcing the supervillain to dodge by leaping to the side. Briefly, Scorpion runs along the lockers that line the wall, slicing them in two as she goes until Nova fires once more. This time she doesn't bother dodging. Instead, she swings her sword to deflect the beam, sending it careening to the side as she pushes off the wall and leaps right at Nova. I shield my eyes as the blast goes off. Damn it, is this how I go? Collateral damage? No, I've got to do something, but when I try to stand, my right leg doesn't cooperate. It's like I didn't avoid all the rubble. Frantically, I work to free my leg, occasionally glancing back to the battle happening before me. Come on. Nothing hurts. There won't be any help at all if I can't move. And they're locked in a deadly spiraling dance now, Nova firing and retreating with bursts from her jets, Scorpion pursuing with wide, vicious slashes. It's a narrow margin, but Victoria is just maintaining her distance.
Can you feel it yet? The inevitability? You can't keep this up.
Speak for yourself. I've got enough fuel to cross the Pacific. This isn't even a strain.
Not on your shell, little turtle. But you'll slip soon. And when you do, I'll crack it open and rip you apart from the inside.
Scorpion brings her sword down diagonally, and this time it nicks a shoulder pad, sending sparks flying.
That's better. I'm getting used to you already. I had to fight that oafish friend of yours 4 times before I could predict her exactly. But with this network...
2 more slashes and 2 more nicks, this time leaving scorch marks on Nova's chest plate and right thigh.
I only need a few minutes. And that's only because there's not much usable footage of you. You're careful. I respect it.
I don't want your respect. and I don't need footage or a supercomputer to predict you.
The Scorpion again closes the distances. Distances. Brain, let me read. Nova suddenly changes course, leaping right towards the supervillain. Caught off guard, Scorpion's horizontal slash misses high as Nova ducks under it, and Nova swings an armored fist right into the supervillain's gut.
You like to predict the outcome of a battle before it's over, and once you do, you talk.
Scorpion tries to bring her sword back around, but Nova stops the attack by swinging her forearm into the supervillain's wrist, then delivering a sharp elbow to Scorpion's temple.
And talk!
Nova spins, activating one of her thrusters and driving her foot right into Scorpion's solar plexus. The supervillain is sent hurtling across the room, crashing into the sinks. They crack on impact.
It's sloppy. Arrogant. And I'm Shiny Nova. You don't beat me with sloppy.
I free my leg just in time to see Nova unleash a multi-shot volley from both arm cannons, except it isn't aimed at Scorpion. It goes over her head where it ricochets off the mirror and flies towards her exposed back. The only problem is that Scorpion blocked it without even looking. He just casually threw her sword over her shoulder and intercepted the blast with the flat of her blade.
Right you are. That's why you beat the leader of the Hellhounds with that move 563 days ago in Chicago. Except that time, you bounced it off that unsightly sculpture. Oh, don't be surprised. I said there wasn't much footage of you, not none. And now that you've shown me how you counterattack, time's up.
Oh god. Flashbang! Suddenly, Scorpion spins and slashes through the sinks, cutting the pipes and filling the room with a cloud of steam. The roar of Nova's thrusters quickly drowns out the pipes, filling the room with heat and blowing away the steam. It's a clever move, but it's hard to appreciate it as I cough and sputter.
187 days.
Oh, she's been hit! Her armor is damaged! A red blade cuts through what's left of the mist, and while Nova manages to turn in time to take most of the blow on her shoulder, she's still thrown back, sparks and bits of armor flying in her wake.
And before that, 254 days. Anytime you need to clear steam or smoke, I'd imagine. But not for your own sake. No, Stanley. This was for you. She can see just fine with that visor, but you can't. So all I had to do was faint towards you. Your lover's blood is on your hands. I want you to know that.
More arrogance. One clean hit, and you think this is over?
But isn't it?
The supervillain tilts her head in Nova's direction, licks her lips, then rushes forward. The superhero tries to react, but the damaged suit moves slower than before. Scorpion flows right past its defenses and strikes. Nova is sent flying towards the sinks as Scorpion was before, but higher and faster. She doesn't simply crash through the mirror, but the entire wall. As for me, I'm frozen. Not because I don't want to help. I need to help. But how? The fight has been so fast and so intense that just spectating has been tough, much less participating. The Scorpion shoots me a predatory grin and stalks towards Nova. I've realized that I have to do something. I don't know if it'll work. Hell, it probably won't. But now's the time to try. Scorpion's half a room away, but she hasn't reached Nova yet. Maybe I can still get between them, or attack her from behind. She's a lot faster than I am, though, so my new cannon may have a better chance. I'll go with the wrist cannon. Yeah, better to stay at range. I don't have Victoria's mobility. I need to stay as far away as possible. Before cowardice gets the best of me, I raise my left hand, steady it with my right, and open fire. Maybe it was the adrenaline, but that might have been the best shot I've ever made with anything. Headed right for Scorpion's temple, until she leans back at the last second and lets it whiz past ineffectually. She stops and turns in my direction. I hold my aim steady and start to shuffle backwards. Well, at least I got her attention.
You know, that wasn't bad. I think you singed my hair. Congratulations, Stanley. You've won the honor of dying first.
Yay?
Yeah, I feel like you've made that threat a lot. What was it you said back then? Promises, promises.
No more time for precision. I fire at will. Whose will? Letting blasts fly as quickly as my middle finger can let them. I may as well be dyslexia, let me read. I may as well be blindfolded. Scorpion bobs and weaves past each of one effort. Chat, have I told you how much I hate being dyslexic? As someone whose literal job is to read things, it is a major hindrance. The scorpion bobs and weaves past each of one effortlessly. I don't know why, but like it's the way that sentence is mixed. It's just messes with my brain. Slowly stalking towards me. I start to backpedal, but it's only a matter of time. Crap. The cannon got her attention, but it's not going to stop her. I have to change it up, or she's gonna cut my head off. I need that. Still got my baton and my shield, or maybe it's time to get creative. She'd probably know about the baton. She doesn't know about the shield. I'll take out the shield. Yeah, the shield. She hasn't seen that yet, has she? It's my best bet. Maybe we'll catch her off guard. As Madam Scorpion draws closer, I start firing and move my gauntlet into a defensive position. Need to wait until the last possible moment.
Giving up already? That's fast, even for you, Stanley.
She stalks forward, slowly now. In her eyes, it's all over. She raises her sword to finish it.
Nope. I just know something that you don't.
Sword falls.
Because I'm Bethany Britannica, girl genius.
So
What?
dumb. Bong. The glowing blue shield emerges from the gauntlet just in time, stopping Scorpion's sword cold.
What?
That's my chance. I won't get a better opening. I can't fire with the cannon because the shield is also the cannon. Swing the baton, I guess. With my free hand, I unlatch my baton from my belt and swing at Madam Scorpion with all my strength. And miss. Catching my wrist in her hand with absolutely no effort. Before I can muster another follow-up, Scorpion tosses me aside effortlessly, throwing me through the air. Crap. I managed to twist just enough to land on my shoulder instead of my head or gut, but it still leaves me dazed. That's something I can't afford. Hurriedly, I try to scramble to my feet.
My, look at you. Such a shame that you're struggling so hard for something that's just not worth it. You've come such a long way in such a short amount of time. Imagine what you could do if you'd chosen the right side.
I pull myself up to my knees and raise my head to the side of Scorpion stalking towards me once again. She moves slower this time, step by step, savoring the moments before the kill.
Oh, Stanley. We could have had a moment, you and I. One you'd have never forgotten. I know you wanted it.
She lets the tip of her sword dance along the ground, sizzling and smoking as she bites her lower lip, considering the possibility. The thought soon passes with a sigh.
Yet you left it ignored. A surprise, but hardly a tragedy. I'll just bask in the pleasure I get from your dismemberment instead. You understand? It was never personal either way.
She levels a blade at my throat.
But take these last seconds to imagine where you could be instead. Farewell, Stanley.
Sup, bitch.
Sup, bitch?
Now collapse into nothing. Shining Mirage!
And you called me sloppy. 382 days ago, you... Wait. That's not...
Wasn't able to count the number of weapons that emerged from Shining Nova's armor before she fired them, much less keep track of the projectiles as they lit up the room in a blinding burst of destructive energy. Try to get to cover, but I barely make it a foot before I'm scooped up by a pair of metal
Tuck
arms.
your head and hang on.
When I get my bearings, we're back in the hallway, or what's left of it. The entire section behind us has collapsed. Luckily, Victoria got us out in time, along with a familiar but unconscious blonde henchman. As she sets me down and lets Dave's prone form drop to the floor, sparks fly from the gash in her suit's shoulder.
Damn it. You alright?
I pat myself down. Incredibly, I still seem to be intact. Not even bleeding. I glance down to Dave. He's got a few scrapes, but his chest is rising and falling peacefully. Can't believe she was able to snag both of us.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
What
I
about
completely
you?
forgot Dave, like, that entire fight.
I think I'm okay. Kepler's just spazzing out a little. If I can disable the arm. There. That'll keep things from getting worse until I can make a field repair.
A helmet swivels to get a lay of the land before falling on one of the nearby security cameras.
Is there somewhere nearby where you're certain there's no surveillance? Normally, I'd just disable the cameras, but with her, I don't want to risk it.
Right, on it. Let's see. Dorms are nearby. I know at least my room is clean. I triple check that sucker annually. If we're here, then it should be this way. Come on.
Once again, we find ourselves navigating the endless twisting hallways of Lord Bedlam's fortress, moving carefully to avoid any patrols that could be lurking about. While Nova could still probably take out any henchmen that get in our way, it's not worth the risk of causing even more damage in the process. Need to get her patched up ASAP. As we move, it occurs to me that this will be the last time I wander these halls. Last time where I used an old grease stain as a landmark while figuring out which direction I need to turn next. Honestly, I won't miss it.
Okay, we should be getting close. If we make a right up here, then...
I start to round the corner, but freeze. There's a squad of henchmen just up ahead. Quickly, I backpedal until I'm out of sight and motion for Victoria to stop.
Guards? Were you spotted?
No, I don't think so.
Cautiously, I poke my head back around the corner. I don't recognize any of their faces. No, wait. These guys all came in on the same day as Victoria. The gig henchmen from the Henchcan app.
Can we avoid them?
Not easily. We'd waste 20 minutes looping around. But I might be able to get rid of them. These are new guys, so they may not know my face.
Alright, give it a shot. I'll cover you.
I nod and take a deep breath to prepare myself. Run around the corner yelling and flailing my arms about like a maniac.
Hey! Hey, you guys!
The henchmen turn in my direction. None of them go for their weapons, so it looks like they don't recognize me after all. I just need to get them to leave. Madam Scorpion is dead.
Madam Scorpion is dead! Shining Nova freaking killed her!
At first, a few of the henchmen seem shocked, but that quickly gives way to suspicion as several dissenters speak up. For a moment, they argue amongst themselves until a couple draw their weapons and start walking towards me. Oops, I picked the wrong thing. Ah, crap. What was I thinking? Superheroes don't kill in general, much less Shining Nova. No one was going to buy that. Luckily, before I can screw things up even further, Victoria activates her thrusters and rockets around the corner, ramming into the henchman like a bowling ball. I hurriedly pull out my baton and move to take out the stragglers. One I managed to catch flush on the jaw with a horizontal strike. And another I prod in the neck, stunning him with a burst of electricity. By then, Nova is standing in a crowd of unconscious bodies, her bad arm still dangling loosely.
You good? Sorry about that. I really thought it would work.
Yeah, that was really like the only thing I could think of that would possibly work, because like, if they're from the Henchcan app, why would they care about Lord Bedlam? And the cupcakes is very clearly like a red herring.
It's okay.
It's a
worth shot.
gag answer.
I appreciate you taking out the stragglers, though. Now let's... Damn it.
I rush up to Victoria as she doubles over, doing my best to prop her up despite her heavy armor.
What happened? Are you hurt?
No. Well, nothing serious. I'll be better if I can get out of this thing soon, though. How far away are we?
Not far. Hang on.
I place a guiding hand on Nova's undamaged shoulder and start leading her in the direction of my room. The door to my room slides open and I let out a sigh of relief. My old code still works. Thank goodness. Looks like someone forgot to report my betrayal to HR. Once Shining Nova and I are both inside, I close the door behind us and engage the locking mechanism, though mostly for my own peace of mind. Not like it would stop Madame Scorpion if she knew we were here.
Okay, we should be good.
I turn to Nova in time to see her finish her own sweep of the room, which I honestly expected. No matter how thorough my own checks were, I don't have a high-tech visor with 18 different types of vision.
Yeah, checks out. Good thinking.
With our privacy assured, she turns her attention to her damaged suit, prodding at the mauled shoulder blade with her working arm.
Not as bad as I feared. Made it a little worse with that last move, but I can patch it up.
That's good. I won't lie, I was a little worried you were going to take us all out with that stunt. What did you call it? The shining eat shit and die attack?
As I speak, the Shining Nova suit opens. Victoria steps out. After taking a moment to roll out her shoulder and wipe the sweat from her brow, she laughs and shakes her head.
Oh, that? The Shining Barrage?
Yeah, that one. I've got to admit, I didn't peg you for the type to call out your big attacks like that. Doesn't seem very tactical to tell your enemy what you're doing.
You're right. It wouldn't be. If it were actually what I was doing at all. See, sometimes when I know there's someone filming, I'll just make up a special move on the spot and never use it again. Then, when I'm up against a supervillain who does their homework, I'll call out the same name, but do something completely different.
That's
It's a
why.
perfect counter for someone like
That's why that worked.
Shit, you really are underhanded for a superhero. But why didn't you bust it out earlier?
Because it was only going to work once. She won't take the bait if I try it again.
As she speaks, she opens up a compartment on the inside of the Nova suit and pulls out a set of tools. After picking out the correct one, she looks around for a spot to set the other implements aside.
Just put them on the TV stand?
You mean the cardboard box?
Yes, I'm glad you noticed the reclaimed cardboard. I like to use repurposed materials in my interior design while maintaining a minimalist, evil aesthetic. I call it boho villain chic.
Oh, very stylish. I'm honored that I was finally able to get a look at it, even if the circumstances aren't ideal.
Well, we already slept at your place. It's only fair that I show you mine.
Oh, is that why you picked the dorms? You wanted to show off your fashionable bachelor pad? Impress me with all the dirty clothes you left on the floor.
Obviously, I can read between the lines. I know what field repair means. Wink wink, nudge nudge, say no more.
That's a Monty Python reference.
Okay, ease off the throttle there, stud. Field repair just means field repair. Speaking of, can you hold this arm steady for me?
I nod and grab hold of Nova's suit's damaged arm while Victoria gets started on the repairs. For a time, she works with quiet concentration, slowly mending the damage, but after a minute...
I hope this is worth it.
Huh? Where'd that come from?
I don't know, it's just... This is cutting it close. Dynamo's hurt, you nearly got killed, and what she said, she's not entirely wrong. People like Scorpion are symptoms, not the root cause. Someone else will try what she's doing, or at least something like it. It's inevitable. They might even succeed. It was selfish of me to ask you to help, to ask you to risk your life for this. I'm sorry.
Screw that and screw her. Oh, God. Let's be cheesy, risking it
Hey,
for you.
I'm risking it
Aw.
for you. Let's get that straight. To quote someone I admire, I want to take risks with you.
Who said that? Sounds like a real nerd.
Oh, yeah, massive nut.
Oh yeah, big time. But she's also brave, brilliant, and I'm pretty sure she could do anything she set her mind to.
Stan.
Plus, she's like super hot, so basically it all evens out.
Jackass. That was almost really sweet.
She smiles softly and leans in. Her lips meet to the jolt of that now familiar spark. When her eyes next open, there's a new reinvigorated energy to them. I feel it too, like I'm recharged.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Reassured, Victoria turns to her repairs, occasionally asking me to hold something, but otherwise working in diligent silence. A few minutes later, she finally stows away the last of her tools and sighs in relief.
There, I think that'll do it. Stand back.
Mobility's good, energy level's nominal. I want to go as far as saying all systems are green, but it'll hold. Won't you, baby? Alright, let's finish this. Lead the way.
We're making good time as we enter the research wing. The repairs to Victoria's suit are holding up, and I benefited from the breather, though I still wouldn't say we're at 100%. There's a decided lack of banter from both of us, and it only gets quieter the closer we get to our destination. We're both waiting for the same thing, or rather the same person. Neither of us believes that Madame Scorpion is down for the count, and the longer we go without running into her, the more I'm worried about what she has planned. An ambush, surely. But when? And yet, even after we reach that final hallway, my hallway, there's nothing. No ambush, and only a handful of guards that Victoria easily disposes of. As we at last get sight of door number 1385, we pause.
Is it better or worse that she hasn't attacked us yet?
No point in speculating, but when we open that door, I expect her to be there waiting for us.
Victoria takes a deep breath, and then starts marching forward with heavy, determined steps, visor locked on our destination. I follow suit, matching her pace.
Remember, our target is the network. As soon as you see an opening, go for the mainframe and I'll keep her occupied. If the situation's still under control by then, just shut down the network when the prompt appears. But if she's giving us trouble, activate a feedback loop instead. That'll dump more data than she can process into her brain in one massive surge. That should give me the opening I need to subdue her. It'll be excruciating for her, at least in theory, so I'd rather avoid it if I can. But it won't cause any lasting damage, so if things are looking dicey, don't hesitate. Got it?
Got it.
Just plug, play, and press when prompted. No problem.
A few steps later, and there we stand, staring at door number 1385. A door I've seen 1,000 times before. Somehow it looks different, sturdier.
I know what you're thinking. Don't. You're walking back out through that door, Stan.
She turns to face me, and for a moment I feel like I can see her eyes behind the helmet.
We both are. Together.
Aww. Even if I have to carry
Even if I have to carry you. Suit and all.
I'd love to see that. But seriously, just leave the suit if it comes down to it. I can make another.
And miss showing off? No way.
Together we take in this last moment of silence, and together we open the door. And anyone there? Right, I forgot the computer was penis shaped for some reason. The room is just as we left it 2 days ago, but a little more lively. The supercomputer fills the room with a low hum, and the coolant tanks bubble with activity. Most importantly, a lone woman sits on the steps in front of us, legs crossed as she examines her nails.
There you are. First, you make a mess of my 7th favorite fortress, and then you keep me waiting. You'll understand if I take offense.
Madame Scorpion rises from her seat, brushing her hair aside. Not even one strand is out of place. I clench my teeth. If she got out of that without a scratch, what's it going to take to stop her?
Offense intended, with enthusiasm.
Unsurprising. For a time, I wasn't sure what you and that brutish brat had in common. But now I see it. You are both wholly lacking in manners. And neither of you knows when you are beaten.
Haven't you learned your lesson about premature celebrations yet?
Yeah, haven't you? You should have, because it'll be on the exam. The justice exam.
Stan, stay out of this.
Thanks, Stan.
Hey, cut me some slack. This is my first day working on this side.
And it will most assuredly be your last, Stanley. Call it premature if you wish. But it is your reality. Do you know the best part about my ability? The closer my calculations get to being a mathematical certainty, the clearer the images become in my head. I can see your depths. Blurry now, but growing sharper. They won't be quick, and they won't be clean.
This power's made you delusional, Scorpion. The only certainty here is that I determine my own future.
Our future.
Yeah, time to change fate.
And when it comes to that future, you don't even make the credits.
I switch my gauntlet into firing mode and raise it, mirroring Victoria's posture. We share a glance and nod in unison, and then we open fire.
Like not even as an extra or in the special thanks section. Just a total snub. You'll have to add yourself to the IFDB page. See? I'm getting better.
Shut up.
Great, real proud of you, just please keep firing.
Yeah, for all the good it's doing us, Scorpion's just calmly weaving through our onslaught like she's practicing for a dance recital, only occasionally raising her sword to lazily bat away a blast for fun.
I told you before. Your time is already up. I know what you're going to do before you do it.
Even you don't believe that. Not yet, anyway.
Nova stops firing and jets forward. Abruptly, Scorpion enters a waltz and races to meet her. The clash never occurs. Instead, Victoria pulls up at the last second, shooting straight up into the air.
There's more room for me to maneuver in here. You might know how I move on the ground, but not in the sky.
Give it time, little turtle. Give it time.
I'm good, thanks.
With that, we resume fire, this time from two different angles. Suddenly, Scorpion's movements are no longer listless as she bobs and weaves about the room with much more urgency, but no less grace. We have yet to do any real damage, but she's clearly on the defensive. Is this my chance to reach the supercomputer? Keep waiting, I guess. No, it's too soon. Scorpion may get more dangerous with each passing second, but moving too urgently could lead me right into her hands. So instead I keep firing, glancing up at Nova. She must be planning something, but what? Surely it isn't to keep firing until we hit her, then I see it. With each move Scorpion makes, she draws closer towards the right side of the room, and coolant tanks. Unlike me, Victoria's not trying to hit the supervillain, she's just forcing her to dodge in a particular direction. Scorpion realizes that... But Scorpion realizes that too. She laughs as she glances over her shoulder.
All that for such an obvious ploy. You may have gained wings, little turtle, but no sense of strategy.
And like that, Scorpion changes direction, almost mirroring Nova's move from the locker room, but on a grander scale. With terrifying speed, she charges forward, deflecting attacks as she goes. As she nears the superhero, she leaps upward, sword raised, and I realize that this is my chance. That was Victoria's real plan, to draw Scorpion away from the supercomputer and towards her.
Superheroes. Always throwing themselves in front of the damn train.
There's no time to argue. This is the best chance we'll have, so I start firing and sprint towards the supercomputer at full speed. The sounds of battle grow quieter as I near my destination. Seems like Victoria's got Scorpion contained. At least for the moment. With no one in front of me, that should give me just enough time. It's plug and play. Easy. I can handle this. I can handle it.
So, hero, you have made it
God
past
damn it.
my defenses.
God
well
damn it.
done. But it is not enough. You are not enough. Not for I.
You managed to get your helmet back straight? Of course. Of course.
No, not for I. I who rules this mountain with a gilded fist. I who dares to laugh at fate and challenge gods. I who can avoid IP and user bans with absolute impunity. I who... Wait, hold on. Let me just... Confound it. What are you doing here, Steve? Where's the other one? You know, glowing mecha explosion person or whatever she's called.
I check my thumb over my shoulder, pointing towards the much more intense action happening on the other side of the room. Also, called me Steve.
Over there. And the name's Stan. Come on. I even have a name tag now.
I tap the name tag Victoria gave me with my finger, and Lord Bedlam peers forward to get a better look at it.
Ah, so you do. S-T-A-N. Stan. Yes, I knew that. I just...
Suddenly, the aforementioned action happening over my shoulder catches his eye.
Wow, look at them go. Is she really going to...
I think she just did. It's getting pretty intense over there.
Yes, but here we are instead. And that's how it's always going to be for you and I.
God
Isn't
damn it.
sad?
How do you mean, sir?
Oh, just the story of my life. Always the vice president of brand management, never the president. Always the lone supervillain without a society, without a nemesis, even after so long. Alas, alack! I struggled and I bled. I raided grocery stores and organic juice stands. I posted mean things about superheroes on social media. And what do I have to show for it? What, I ask you? Here I stand.
I love
second
Lord
fiddle
Bedlam
in
so
my own
much.
Fortress. No, not even a fiddle. Something worse, like a lute or a ukulele. What am I to make of this, Trevor? What am I to do?
Now you're not even trying to get my name right.
You could, let me go?
Let you go?
Yeah, just let me, scooch on by you there. I'll just plug this thingy into that computer real quick and get out of your way. You won't even notice me.
Ah, I see what you're doing. The reverse psychology tactic, eh? Just plucked that lesson from the old Lord Bedlam learning tree, did you? Well, you're right. The spotlight may not be on us, but we should still make the best of it. Our time will come one day, Sean. Our
God
time
damn
will
it.
come.
Get my name
Well,
right.
Not yours, of course, but figuratively speaking.
Nope, no reverse psychology. I was really just trying to get by. And I just told you my name is Stan. You read the name tag and everything.
Ah, of course! Stan! I thought it was you. I just misread your tag, that's all.
No, you
You should
didn't.
really work on that handwriting.
You literally spelt it correctly.
But very well then, Stan. Let's take it from the top, shall we? Ah, at long last, you have arrived, my greatest nemesis, Stan! And now it is down to you, and it is down to I. Just as it always has been. Just as it always will be. Until today.
I love his grand
because
theatrics.
Today, you shall finally taste defeat. And then it will just be down to I. Not you. Not you at all. Now come forth, you traitorous scum. You cowardly turncoat. You jumping Judas. Come forth and face your destiny. Come forth and experience chaos.
Are you done?
Pandemonium. Behold true, unadulterated Bedlam.
Ugh, fine.
Excellent. Then let us begin. For the first time and the last.
Last chance to walk away.
Come on,
We
dude.
don't have to come to blows.
I'm just not gonna give him the time of day.
Oh,
'Cause it's
but
just
I think
funnier
it
that way.
does, hero. It must come to blows, fisticuffs, and even pugilism. Yes, especially pugilism. But first, feast your eyes on my deadly bedlam bolts.
With a completely unnecessary flourish from his cape, Bedlam pulls a small taser from his hip, points it at me and fires, only for its wires to fall a yard short, where they spark pitifully.
Well, take that as a warning, foolish hero. A shot across the bow, a boop on the nose. It would be a waste to astound you with my full power right away.
Sure,
You see,
dude.
for years I trained to control my strength.
Alright, I can see this is never going to end if I just let him monologue like this. Time to go on the offensive. Maybe I could try Nova's tactic from when we escaped. We learned that he's protected himself. I raise my gauntlet, switch into firing mode, and prepare to take care of this problem the way the good Lord intended, by blasting the absolute shit out of it with a laser cannon.
How's this for a shot across the bow?
Before Lord Bedlam can launch into another monologue, I open fire with a pair of blasts aimed right at his chest. But before they find their mark, the supervillain crosses his gauntlets in front of him defensively, and both beams bounce right off of them.
Oh, good, that worked. I mean, aha! Of course that worked! I told you those weapons were no match for my made-to-order, patent-pending chaos armor! I told you!
I sigh and lower the gauntlet. Yeah, I guess he did tell me. I just kind of thought it was full of shit.
Yes, and this armor is but a fraction of my true power. And not a nice, even fraction, like a 4th or an 8th, but an annoying odd one, like a 7th or 13th. Now behold, my true, absolute power!
The supervillain spreads his arms wide, cape flapping behind him. I square my stance, preparing for whatever trick he's ready to pull. Another weapon? Or does he actually have a hidden superpower? No, he's just planning to throw himself at me. That's a South Park bit. Come on, you can't just throw that at me. Ah, rabble, 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 rabble. Because it's the last thing I expected, it sort of works.
Yeah, get off of me, you nutcase!
Never! I shall never surrender!
God damn it. For several moments, we roll around on the ground engaged in the lamest, purplest wrestling match ever conceived, and hitting each other with whatever limb is available. Remember, there's an actual superhero / supervillain fight happening in the same room. And then there's this. Ah, damn it, one of his stupid horns smacked me in the side of the head. That's it, I'm frickin' biting him. I don't care how unheroic it is. Before I can follow through, someone roughly pulls us apart, tossing me aside in the process.
Bah! Who dares to interrupt our duel? Who dares, I say?
I do, Lord Bedlam.
Dave? As Dave steps forward, I notice him wince and grab his kidney. Where my baton jabbed him earlier. Must still be really feeling that.
Oh, it's you, Daniel. Thank goodness you're here.
I'm Dave, actually. Stan's supervisor. You reprimanded me earlier today. Remember? It was when you found out the traitor was in my squad.
Ah, yes, of course. I remember now. Lots of things were said, but all is forgiven if you help me bring this backstabbing brute to his knees. What say you, Dave? Senior Squad Supervisor.
He's totally gonna take it because we beat the crap out of him, right? As I scramble to my feet, I glance between Dave and Lord Bedlam. Ah, crap. One of these two I can handle, but both at once? Could really be in trouble here.
I say, let's kick his gosh darn traitor ass!
Yeah. Yep, I'm in trouble. Dave advances from the right and Bedlam from the left. Of the two, Dave's the more dangerous. I fought him before. I left my mark on him too. Maybe I can use that. Start to turn towards Dave. Need to deal with this with his raw strength, or this could get out of hand quickly. But how to take him out? Think, how did I beat him before? Kidney shot. That's right, the kidney. It's where I nailed him in the last fight, and he was clutching at it earlier. One good shot, and he'll go down like a bag of hammers. My mind made up, I blow past the befuddled Lord Bedlam and charge straight for Dave.
Do your worst, traitor! I won't fail Lord Bedlam again!
Oh, you will. In fact, I'm feeling a bit of deja vu. How about you?
What does mustard have to do with any of this?
As in Dijon mustard, shut up. The taller henchman swings furiously, and I step out of range, waiting for my chance.
That's Dijon, buddy.
I'm not your buddy!
Dave lets loose with an even wilder swing, and this time I step underneath it, readying my baton.
But I'll put a little mustard on this one for you if you want.
With all my strength, I swing my baton right at Dave's kidney, activating its shock function.
That wasn't funny at all!
The pain of the blow combined with the electric shock forces my former supervisor to double over and collapse to the ground, twitching involuntarily as he slips into unconsciousness.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna try something about kidney beans, but that wouldn't have been any good either.
With a shrug, I slip my foot under Dave's baton and kick it up into my waiting hand.
Oh, nice. Got that on the first try.
With the baton in each hand, I try out a few practice swings. A little awkward, but it should do the job. It's enough to intimidate Lord Bedlam, at least.
Whoa now, let's slow down, alright?
The supervillain starts to back away, and I stalk forward, batons in hand.
Stanley, Stan the man, my man.
Oh, so now he gets my name right.
Now that I think about it, you don't have to be my nemesis. We could be pals, partners. What do you say? God, no! Stop it! Stop
Just
it!
beating him with it. There we go. I answer by rapidly swinging both batons down on the top of his helmet, beating it like a drum until he collapses in a heap.
Sorry, already got one of those. What can I say? She's got a cooler helmet.
Leaving my foe's unconscious forms and the ashes of my henchman career behind, I race forward towards Madame Scorpion's supercomputer. Time to end this. So, fun little thing about that whole scene. When I was actually reviewing this back in the day when this first came out, I was actually, like, super nice to Dave, like, the entire time. So, when this happened, Dave actually turned on Lord Bedlam, and I just was able to go straight to the supercomputer. That's why, as annoying as Dave is, be nice to him. He's not all there, but he's a nice guy. As I near the supercomputer, I fumble around in my belt for the data drive that Victoria gave me. Come on, which pouch do I put it in? There! Briefly, I bobble the drive as another explosion rocks the room, but quickly regain control. Phew, too close. Imagine if that had fallen into a vent or something. Nervously, I glance over my shoulder, and the sight does little to ease my worries. Victoria is picking herself up from a small crater of shattered concrete. Her arm is sparking as she moves. Looks like those field repairs gave out. Damn it, it took too long getting past Bedlam. I need to hurry.
I told you. It was just a matter of time. Patterns always form. It's human nature. And now that they have, I can see your future. I can hear your last scream. I can...
Scorpion whirls around towards the supercomputer and her eyes land on me, standing stock still, my hand still on the blue and white data drive that I just inserted into the towering machine. Meanwhile, the data drive goes right to work just like Victoria said it would, uploading first to the supercomputer itself and then the entire network. When it finishes, Scorpion's powers will be crippled.
Oh, don't let me interrupt. That sounded like a good speech. Go on. You were at the third I can. The third one's usually the punchline for these things.
Stanley, how did you... Did that incompetent windbag actually let you past him? How could that imbecile screw up such a simple, solitary task?
Yeah, he had one job.
I don't know. Maybe you should talk it over with him. Just conduct a quick,
I glance at the computer's maintenance monitor, where I can see the percentage bar on Nova's... Okay, there's a typo. Nova R. Malware uploaded, creeping slowly higher with every second.
30, maybe 40-second performance review. A minute tops?
30 seconds. Good. I can kill you in 30 seconds. With ease.
And in a flash, she sets out to do exactly that, sprinting towards me at full speed with her sword trailing behind her. Start to back up, frantically reaching for a weapon as I move, but it will be far too late. Forget 30 seconds, she's gonna kill me in a frickin' instant.
Stan, stay focused on the screen. Remember the plan.
Nova rockets forward to intercept the supervillain, one arm hanging limply as she careens through the air. Despite how the fight has gone thus far, Nova's thrusters still make her the faster of the two.
Don't you dare turn your back on me, Scorpion. We're not finished.
They're on a collision course. At the very least, Scorpion will need to alter her own trajectory. But will that give the malware enough time?
Finished? You were finished the moment you got in my way.
Madame Scorpion doesn't alter her trajectory. Instead, she barrels right towards the wounded superhero, and in a flurry of violent crimson slashes, she casts Victoria aside with brutal efficiency. There's a crackle of electricity and shards of Nova's armor clattered to the ground as it finally gives way. My blood runs cold.
Nova!
She can't help you, Stanley. No one can. It's over.
Suddenly, a small chime sounds from the supercomputer's console. Nova's malware upload is complete, and in place of the progress bar, the touchscreen is taken up by two large buttons.
Hey, you were right. It is over.
One button says network shutdown, and the other says initiate feedback loop. Though Scorpion desperately reaches out to stop me, my finger's already headed towards... it was the feedback loop I think I needed to do, right? Or was it the shutdown? I've straight up forgotten. I've straight up forgotten. I'll go shutdown. Network shutdown button. Before she could reach me, it finds its mark. Lights on the supercomputer flicker momentarily and fade out as the machine shuts down for good. Out of curiosity, I mash as many nearby buttons as I can. Nope, nothing.
What have you done?
Oops, I think I just bricked your shiny new computer here. Did you need it for anything? Nah, you didn't need it. Not like you spent years and millions of dollars setting all this up, right? Because if you did, whoo boy, that'd be a shame.
Hundreds of millions, actually. More money than you could have amassed in a dozen miserable lifetimes. But I'm not you. I can make that money back. Once I do, I'll rebuild my network, and then my plans will be right back on track. It will take time, but I will get there. The real shame, Stanley, is you, and what you've just done with your future. Until now, I was simply going to kill you, but you've changed my mind. Now, I'm going to keep you alive.
Sword in hand, the supervillain stalks forward. Shit, I turned off precognitive murder machine Madam Scorpion by shutting down the network. It did nothing to slow down plain old Madam Scorpion 1.0. That Scorpion could already tangle with the likes of Miss Dynamo. Suddenly realizing the gravity of my situation, I start to backpedal. But before I get far, I'm struck with a backhanded slap so hard that my feet actually leave the ground before I crash back down to earth. I cough and see blood staining the black floor.
You'll not walk away while I'm speaking, Stanley. No, I don't think you'll leave my side again. I'm going to make a living example of you, of what happens when someone betrays me. By the time I'm through with you, you'll be a mute, limbless stub of a man that I drag around on a chain, broken in every way.
I try to stand, but a black boot stops me, the heel grinding into my chest.
I think I'll leave one of your eyes, though. I want you to see what I do despite your ill-conceived sacrifice. I want you to see it and know that all your pain and suffering wasn't worth it.
She levels her sword at my face, and I know she's not exaggerating. She means every word.
Neither you or that little turtle know how to play this game to win. And you will endure a lifetime of torment because of it. And all for nothing. Your lover is dying in a heap of scrap. And it was all for nothing.
Suddenly, a beam of light strikes Madam Scorpion's hand, sending her sword flying. Supervillain turns to face her assailant, but...
You just never learn.
the face is cracked.
Arrogant.
From out of nowhere, Victoria soars into view, engines roaring as she crashes into Madam Scorpion.
I'm the furthest thing from dead!
The force of a train, the pair slam into the wall of the chamber. It's Scorpion who takes the brunt of it, letting out a gasp of pain even as she claws at Victoria's damaged armor.
For now, but not much longer. That shell is giving out. This is suicide!
The Scorpion has a point, shining Nova's armor is being torn apart at the seams. Sparks and bits of metal trail in Victoria's wake as brightly as the burn from her thrusters. Damage it took from Madam Scorpion combined with the strain she's putting on it right now, it won't last long. It could take Victoria with it, yet still, Victoria doesn't let up.
Selfish people like you never understand! You're willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to win! Everything except yourself! Because that's only cause you care about!
Somehow Nova's thrusters burn even hotter and she pushes onward, pressing Madam Scorpion into the stone wall of the chamber and using her body to bulldoze a road through its hard stone walls. Stone debris falls to the ground alongside bits of metal as Madam Scorpion struggles to free herself, desperately clawing at her assailant and prying the gaps in the armor.
But I care about more than just women. I care about every life you ruined, and every line you've crossed. All in the name of your own ambition! And yeah, I care about my weird henchman boyfriend!
It is official.
So I'll give everything to stop you, even if it kills me. Whatever it takes. Because as long as even a scrap of this armor is working, I'm still Shining Nova! And Shining Nova can do anything!
Alright, that's cheesy as hell hero speech, but okay. Wait, Snoop Dogg just had a match at WrestleMania? Oh my god. First Johnny Knoxville, now Snoop Dogg. Okay. With deadly velocity, both superhero and supervillain slam into the dormant supercomputer, and the ensuing explosion sends me flying backwards. Coughing and waving away the smoke, I peel myself off the ground and try to find my feet. I couldn't fully make out what happened, and I don't see. Let me speak. I couldn't fully make out what happened, and I don't see either of them. No, don't tell me.
Nova! Nova!
It was, yeah. Well, yeah, he's not a fighter, despite what, Def Jam Fight for New York has to say. I stumble forward, nearly tripping over a piece of debris. I still can't make anything out. No, wait, over there.
Nova!
Sup?
There she is, she won! Her arm is beat up, but she looks like a badass. With ginger steps, Victoria emerges from the wreckage of the supercomputer. What's left of her mangled armor falling off of her as she goes. Sparks from the decimated machine and her own shredded armor dance around her, and in this moment, they look as beautiful as the stars we flew beneath last night. Still funny nonetheless. Yeah, I
Hey,
bet it would have been.
You okay?
Yeah. I was just having a moment, I think. You're incredible, you know that? Asking if I'm okay after what you just pulled? I mean, you dive bomb into a supercomputer and you ask if I'm okay. Really?
Yeah, really? I meant what I said, you know. I really do care about my weird henchman boyfriend.
Aww.
And I care about my crazy superhero girlfriend. Hell of a time to put a label on this thing, by the way.
Why's that? Having second thoughts?
Not a chance. You just have a flair for the
What if I
dramatic,
said
that's
yes?
all. But please don't pull the self-sacrifice lever every time we hit a milestone, all right? Hey babe, it's our anniversary, so I'm just going to dive bomb this lizard monster into an oil tanker to recreate our first date. See you at dinner, hopefully.
Sorry, that's part of the deal. As a superhero, I have to pull at least one stunt like that a month. It's contractual. Though, admittedly, that one was a little dicey.
She pauses to rip off a piece of armor that's barely clinging on and tosses it aside. As it happens, it lands right in front of a pool of jet black hair belonging to an unconscious Madam Scorpion.
I'd say it worked out, though. Luckily, without her network, she wasn't able to think of a way out of that in time. Might have been easier to hit her with the feedback loop, but I'll never fault anyone for showing restraint. Especially since you made the smart call so many other times today. Honestly, I think you're really cut out for this superhero thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure. You're screwing with me, right?
Not at all. I'm being serious. But we can go over all of that later. For now, just get her secured and get the hell out of here. Seen enough of these walls to last a lifetime.
No kidding. You and me both.
Yay, we did it. We saved the world. You and me both. Issue 9, 8 months later.
Oh, why did I set this alarm so early?
Oh, okay. Okay. This isn't what I expected. Okay, so we got the thing.
Because today's your big day and you can't be late.
Still groggy, I turn towards the bedroom door where Victoria is standing expectantly.
Oh, right. Well, in that case, I withdraw my name from consideration or whatever. It's sleeping time still.
Nuh-uh, no way. Not after how you worked so hard to get here. Plus, you'd make me look bad. Do you know how many recommendations I've even given? 3 total since the founding. You'll tank my batting average.
Fine, fine. But only if we stop for breakfast. Much as I love seeing your face in 2 places at once, I can't eat another bowl of that cereal today.
Way ahead of you. There's bagels in the kitchen. Now come on.
Oh, bagels, please tell me there's cream cheese. Victoria walks over, gives my butt a firm smack, but after 8 months of training, I don't even flinch. Just pull myself out of bed and shoot her a sly grin.
Wow, Victoria Vasquez out and about picking up takeout. Did you use a drone this time or just an alias? Ooh, which name did you use? Tatiana? Remember, if you use that one, you have to do the accent.
Please tell me it's... like, I know it's not. It's gonna go with a Russian accent, but like my brain is like, oh, is she role-playing Tatiana from No Straight Roads?
I absolutely did not agree to those terms. But if you have to know, it was Camille this time.
Ooh la la, Camille, you say? I hope you wore your big sunglasses and foofy coat. So maybe we should be eating croissant.
Croissant?
You're the worst. I should never
God.
tell you when I do that.
As she laughs, Victoria leans in. We share a brief but affectionate kiss.
And yet, whenever you call me the worst, that's how you follow up. Sending me some real mixed messages here.
Just get up, doofus. Come on, we really can't be late, and I know how you are about your routine.
I click my tongue in disapproval, even as I move to comply.
The term, ma'am, is ritual. It centers my spirit.
And freshens your breath, thank God.
I snort and shake my head as I trudge towards the bathroom. As I grab the handle, I shoot one more glance at Victoria, who is watching me go with an impish grin.
See you on the roof in 20, rookie.
The Northwestern Hero Association headquarters. It's not as big or glamorous as the regional HQs on the East Coast or in some of the bigger states. At least according to Victoria. I'm still impressed by it. Hold on, I gotta read the Lord Bedlam thing. Lord Bedlam, powers none, threat level C-. Known associates, Madam Scorpion, Dave. Aliases, Lord Lifespan 82 on larplife.net message boards. God. See, maybe I'm still in the honeymoon phase, but it beats Lord Bedlam's bunker hands down in quality. It's not as crowded either. Even today, there's maybe a couple dozen bodies in the whole place, staff included. That's normal, supposedly. Not like I was expecting a ticker tape parade or anything, though I do recognize some faces.
Hey, Nightingale. Back from Vancouver already? You crossed that photo op with the Mounties off your bucket list?
Morning, Stan. Congratulations, I'm so excited for you. And yeah, I did eventually. Though it took a little time since someone's powers fried every cell phone in the area.
Look, you knew what you were signing up for when you gave me the green light, chicken wings. And at least they dropped that.
So
threat
what's
to
my
revoke our
actual
deal visas.
superhero name now?
I swear, if you don't stop calling me chicken wings, I'm gonna put you in a chicken wing. Just because I forgot to manifest my left wing that one time.
She's not kidding, Fluke. Her submission game's really coming along. Oh, and congrats, Stan. You earned it.
Yeah, congrats, kid.
Thanks, guys. Guess I'll be seeing you out there.
Oh my god, I just realized. You know how I was talking about earlier, how like a lot of this is done by like DBZA people? Do you know how last stream I'm like, oh, Android is literally just the cyborg android joke from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's literally a callback. God damn it. I offer the trio a wave and move on. Looks like most of the members were able to make it, but I don't see.
Hey there, sunshine.
There we go.
Looking good. I'm feeling the fit. When Nova told me you were gonna keep some purple in there, I was a little worried, but it actually works. If I didn't know any better, I might think there's a real badass under all that steel.
Thanks. I just wanted to keep a bit of the old me in there, you know? Remember where I started and all that. But any illusion of me being a badass is all Nova. She really pulled off a miracle there. The wonders of modern technology, right?
You can say that again. Damn, I kinda want an upgrade now. Oh, there she is. Hey Nova, when are you gonna hook me up with one of these suits? I'm totally sold on them now.
No way. You'd break it in a day. Besides, you'd hate it. None of my designs are sleeveless.
Ah, shit. My only weakness. Really?
Sleeves!
You
No!
can't make like a mecha tank top or anything? So lame. But you installed that remote-controlled butt window, right?
Wait, what?
Oh, you know I did.
As Dynamo and Victoria share a laugh and a fist bump, I frantically pat at my rear, searching for a seam. She wouldn't actually, would she?
Seriously, don't you get enough of that when we're home?
Nope, it's never enough. But no, not seriously. As far as you know.
As we talk, the crowd starts to shift in anticipation. Looks like the ceremony's about to start.
Well, I better get up there so I can smile and shake hands with all the other rookies. You sure you don't want me to bring a trash can for our photo op? You know, for old time's sake.
Certain. I'll take a handshake and a smile like everyone else. Thanks.
Ah, you're no fun.
Shaking her head in disapproval, Dynamo saunters over to the small stage that's been set up in the common area. Two other rookies are already waiting there, fidgeting nervously.
Well, guess I shouldn't keep them waiting.
Guess not. But first, I just wanted to say I'm really proud of you, Stan. I mean it. And not just because you're my weird henchman boyfriend.
Thanks.
No, I'm not a henchman anymore.
But you can't use that anymore.
Exactly.
Remember? I'm your weird superhero boyfriend now.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? End of an era. But only if you get that butt over to the stage, rookie.
I shrug and start walking backwards towards Dynamo and the others.
I'm gonna get paid back with interest for all the times I said that, huh?
You'd better believe it.
And yet, even as it happens, I can't. Becoming a superhero and more than that, being with Victoria, some days I just really can't believe it. Fun stop games. Oh god. Trade in 36 games, get one new game plus a can of Volt Soda.
Kneel
Yay.
before the might and glory of the all-powerful and all-inclusive Lord Bedlam!
And of course, Lord Bedlam is the one that's robbing it.
Do you see what happens when you defy me, you sniveling peons? Do you see what happens when you dare try to upsell me with a lifetime warranty? Quickly, my acolytes! Grab as many of those USB sticks as you can from the displays by the counter as penance for this retail's repulsive service. Then we shall seize the soft pretzel stand.
Oh my god.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Actually, that's not really true, is it? Soft pretzels are more of a lateral move from dog food. Wouldn't you agree?
On the contrary, I'd say it's a step up. Higher value to weight ratio, humans can eat it instead of dogs, just an all-around improvement. Where were the soft pretzel raids when I was there?
When you were...
You think he's gonna figure it out?
Just give it a second.
No, it can't be! It's you! You're...
God
Oh.
damn it, Bedlam.
Well, you called me a lot of things, but I think most were just synonyms for traitor, remember?
There really were a lot of them, weren't there? Which was your favorite? I'm partial to filthy treasonous.
That one was pretty good, yeah.
Oh, Jumping Judas, no question. You missed that one, though.
Stan? It's really you!
Oh my god, he
This
does
is-
remember my name.
This is... excellent! At long last, after so many years of searching, I finally have a true nemesis! Well then, Stan, come forth! Come forth and
I can't
stop
really
me
be
if you
going around,
dare.
like, as a superhero still being called Stan, right?
But know this, I, the stupendous and superlative Lord Bedlam, shall not go quietly into the villainous night. No, I, Lord Bedlam, shall...
Yeah, I've heard this one before. You ready?
Thought you'd never ask.
So, how was it? Your first day as an officially licensed superhero?
Aw, cute.
Was it everything you imagined?
Hard to say. I never really imagined myself being in a position like this. Not until recently, anyway. Not until I met you, I suppose. I mean, you're the one who got me here, if I'm being honest.
You never give yourself enough credit. You did this, Stan. Maybe I prodded you a little, but you're the one who made it happen. It's like I told you. That's kind of the point of this superhero thing. No one makes you, no one asks you. It's a path only you can choose. But it's not one where you're going to blend in. You won't be just another face in the crowd anymore. You cool with that? I remember you once told me that you hated the thought of it.
Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? Back when I thought your name was Kate.
What about now? Still worried about being the nail that sticks up and gets hammered down?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, we changed
Didn't
as a
think so.
person.
You've come a long way. I'm glad. And not just because you're better off for it. I admit there's selfish reasons too. Like getting to share this view.
It's pretty spectacular. Not that I need to tell you that. Any view you'd risk stepping out of your armor for must be incredible.
Well, I'm flattered, but this time I may have done just a little bit of planning. So there may be a minor cell phone and satellite blackout centered around this building right now. And as luck would have it, that means no one can hear or see us unless they've got a helicopter and a set of binoculars. So we're totally alone up here. All through sheer coincidence, of course.
Of course.
That's more like you. Still a lot of trouble to go through, isn't it?
Maybe, but I always wanted to share this spot with someone one day. I just never found the right person. Not until now.
Aww.
I want to share everything with you. There'll be times where it isn't easy, even times where it's downright crazy, but...
But we can get through it. The two of us. Together.
Yeah. Together.
We spend the night on that rooftop until the whiskey's long gone and the last of our adrenaline fades, wrapped in each other's arms. Sometimes I feel like we never came down, like we're still up there, just living in that moment for as long as we possibly can. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Yeah, the end. And that is Henchman Story. So yeah, I've gushed about this game for like the last, like 3 streams. It's, yeah, really good. There is a, yeah, Mark Soskin, that's his name. Like I said, that's the guy who, voices like Android 17 and TN and shit in, Dragon Ball Z Abridged. But yeah. There is a reason why this game won Switchaboo's Hidden Gem of 2021 award. This game is fantastic. Like, I don't even play visual novels. I tend to find them boring. This is written fantastically. Oh, I love it. I really do. I really do. God, how long does this go for? It's gonna be a while. Anthony's Sardina, that's Antfish. But yeah, yeah, that ending is actually like the different ending. The one that I got when I got this for the review. I did a lot of the things like the same as what chat wanted me to do, but the ending I got is we didn't actually end up as a superhero. Like, we still ended up like romancing Victoria and all that, but instead of being a superhero, we essentially became the oh, I had his name, immediately just blanked it. What's Samuel L. Jackson's character in the Marvel movies? Like, essentially him. So, like, we were working with the agency and essentially being, like, the guy who, like, tells the superheroes what to do. Like, we were, the strategist in shit. So, yeah. The way to get become the superhero ending was to actually, you know, be good at the combat sequences. So like when I messed up the that one bit in the Scorpion fight in the locker room, I thought that itself would completely ruin it. I thought that completely ruined that the ending, and I ended up getting the same one. But no, it's way more lenient because I looked up how to get some of these endings, and boy, getting the romance Madam Scorpion ending. Oh boy, you have to do some very, 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 very specific dialogue choices. Oh boy, it is very difficult. But that is also like another ending that is just fabulous because it's essentially the same thing, but you become a super villain. And you actually get to see like Stan himself. Well, kinda. He has a mask on, but like he's got a cool pinstripe suit and everything. He looks rad. Oh god. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me for Henchman Story. It has been fantastic. I highly suggest people actually go out and check this game out, especially if you know, you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Because like I keep talking about, since this is just something I just learnt and binged and I'm super into now, and I'm super late to the party, yeah, like Team 4-Star and like all the cool stuff that they do, yeah, it will feel very much just like that. Oh god. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to, you know, be so kind as to follow us on Twitch at Switchaboo Live. I'm talking to the YouTube crowd at this point. You know, like and subscribe if you're watching this on the YouTube archive over at you know, Switchaboo Live on YouTube. All of our socials have been playing in the bottom left-hand corner of the stream, so you know that's where you go for like all of that stuff. We also have a TikTok. I gotta mention the TikTok because I made that little ticker before we even had a TikTok. Yay, fun. So yeah, that's a thing. And yeah, share us like all around, like tell people that we're doing all this. This is, you know, what we love. Eventually I will actually be able to, you know, like gain full access to the account again, so, you know, I don't have to like add the chat in post for the YouTube archive and have to rely on Bruno whenever I start my stream to actually, you know, put it in the right directory, put the right title on it and all that crap. We just gotta wait for Twitch. It's like we've done everything we can. We're just waiting on them. Usually it takes like usually it takes like a couple of hours, if not that, like a day or two. But it has taken months. Like we've had to like talk to the support team like multiple times and just, yeah, nothing's happening. It's we should have our sub button by now. God damn it! Come on, Twitch. Where's the sub button? Anyway. If you like more of my, if you want to see more of my stuff though, you can catch me at Jaxic15 over on Twitch.tv. I stream here every day except for Mondays and Sundays at 8 p.m. Australian Central Time. I gotta say that now because it is no longer daylight savings time. This week, tomorrow I am playing more of, what is it? House Flipper, a game that, you know, my chat wanted me to play, like, for funsies. Haha, it wouldn't be funny if, like, this guy actually got a job flipping houses. And I ended up super loving it, so I'm playing more of it. I guess that's the middle-class white man in me. And yes, we are still playing Fire Emblem Engage. What was it? Persona 3 Portable and Like a Dragon Ishin, because those are very long games. I cannot believe that you know, the major DLC for Fire Emblem Engage is coming out, and I'm still only like 2/3 of the way through the main campaign. Oh my god, it takes so long to get through games when you stream them. Anyway. As for over here, my next stream, I can actually talk about. Like, I got a code for a certain game, And for once, I'm not actually under embargo, so I'm gonna show you that now. Infinite Guitars. We are going to be checking this out next week. I believe this is a turn-based RPG, all about, you know, people that play guitars, and it has like little rhythm game sections in it, kind of like Guitar Hero, but you know, it's a little hard to replicate that on a, you know, Switch controller and all of that stuff. But you know, it'll be interesting to check that out because that is super up my alley. It is like I love Guitar Hero. I love like turn-based RPGs. You guys know this. God. So yeah, I super cannot wait for that. So yeah, that's gonna be next Monday stream. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please check out Henchman Story. I want to see like what kind of endings you guys get. Most of the time you'll probably get the same one I got when, you know, going through this for the review, because from what I heard, that's like the most common ending most people get. But yeah, please check out Henchman Story. It's a fantastic game. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for next week for Infinite Guitars. Ciao.